What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to the Nintendo Open Air Podcast. Finally, Nintendo has heard us, has started working on it, and is promising more to come from now Nintendo. It may not be a huge upgrade, but with the current embarrassing state of the Nintendo Rewards program, anything is a welcome change. What will we be getting? When will it arrive? Stay tuned and we'll tell you how you can turn those digital purchases into gold. Before we start tonight, of course, as always, let me introduce our panel. We've got Momo with us. We got Z. We've got our favorite arcade bunny with us again. And of course, I'm Jason, your host. So tonight, we're going to start out with a very popular topic in the Nintendo community as of late. And that is Nintendo Labo. So recently, Nintendo has applied for a new patent, and they're dropping the Nintendo Labo down to just Labo. And the interesting part of this to me is that it not only includes the materials that they've already showed us, the cardboard creations, it includes plush, mobile games, controllers, board games, playing cards, and carrying cases. So, what do you guys think? Are we looking at a Labo world coming up, or what's going on?
My world is a Labo world.
Can't wait for the robot suit plushie. A plush cardboard piano.
I was thinking about when I go to pick it up from Best Buy, and when they ask me, what are you picking up? And I usually say a video game or one of those Nintendo figures. I'm going to say a box of cardboard. That's what I'm here to pick up.
You're gonna take out the extra insurance. Like, would you like the warranty on that? Do you think I'll replace the cardboard for you
for $8.99?
Yeah,
like to
that'd be worth it.
Loss or damage. Oh, you bet.
That'd be worth it on cardboard, probably.
Hell yeah, man. I'll be bringing this in. I'll be bringing this back weekly.
Yeah. The kid stepped on it again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing that patent just covers everything. But I don't know what else they could do with it, really. Like I said, Labo could not necessarily be just cardboard, though. They could use it for a bunch of different media.
They're hoping to grow it into its own development kit, I really think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think they're trying to Intel is kind of pushing its own little like PC on a chip kind of thing as a competitor to an Arduino or a Pi. I think this is Nintendo in their own weird Nintendo way, kind of throwing their foot into that kind of market.
Tossing their foot in the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're. Well, it could be too. Maybe I mean, right now we think of Labo as cardboard, but maybe they see it as something else. Maybe they will have a plush doll that you put the remote in and it can tell if it's being squeezed or, interactive stuff like that.
Were this to really take off, why does it need to involve a Joy-Con at all? Why can't it just be some other Bluetooth device that the Switch connects to?
It could be Nintendo Teddy Ruxpin.
What I thought was one of the interesting takeaways was carrying cases. I was just thinking, this is something
we joked about that.
Yeah, this is something that Max had brought up and pointed out was interesting. It's like, it could be a really big thing, if you had some kind of thing to put it in that came with it, I think would be nice.
That way you can fly with your fishing rod. Just check it with your baggage.
Oh, you just disassemble the whole thing back into sheets.
Well, that's the thing. Is supposedly it's from what I've heard, it's near impossible. Yeah, no,
it takes 2 hours or something to build the stupid.
Yeah, well, they've said that the pieces are really not made to be taken apart once they're together. Like, it's difficult to get them apart because they interlock and stuff. So.
Yeah, without tearing the cardboard. Yeah, no, totally understood.
Whatever. I don't know. It's something for maybe they're just copywriting this so they can make more weird crap for you to stick onto it because they seem to be really all about the stickers and tapes and
that's another good point.
And weird crap to decorate the stuff with. So you never know.
But for example, go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say one thing I was thinking about. We didn't really get into this too much when we were talking about Yoshi, the upcoming Switch title, and it being cardboard. I'm just thinking a cardboard amiibo. If they come out with kits where you build your own amiibo and maybe customize them, Yoshi would be a great one because Yoshi comes in about a dozen colors. So
all they need to do is start selling amiibo sticker sheets that have amiibos that you can make anything into an amiibo. Make your own amiibo, and it just comes with little NFC chip stickers.
I think
the inside of the cereal box.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're to that point with the cereal boxes. I would hope. I don't know. I don't know if there'll be any integration. We're just kind of projecting with that Yoshi thing, but it'd be neat if there was a little Labo, set that you could, put your Yoshi amiibo through, and it would track where your amiibo is, or you know what I mean. There's a lot of weird, interesting stuff that you could do, like making a real interactive board game, with your amiibos. Like right there, you could do a sheet of cardboard that's got little sensors in it or whatever. I mean, there's a lot more than they can do that other than just some cardboard apparatus to slap the Joy-Con in. They could have an entire other device. They could have an actual RC car that's Bluetooth that you just use your Switch as the controller, just like the Bug, if they wanted. It just, they really can kind of take it anywhere. With going from this, it's a total blue ocean strategy, right? It's Nintendo's.
Yeah, and it's hard to say if it'll stay separate, if Labo will be its own independent thing, or if they will try to integrate it with other games, where they have a Labo element that you can partake in if you want to, and like Amiibo.
Like if you build
use
this
the Labo thing or not.
Yeah, I could see that.
There's a Labo level in Mario Odyssey, or something like that. The Labo DLC.
If you get some Labo kit and build it, you can use it as a special item or something, and it does. You can do something with it. I can see that.
Now, spoilers: the robot suit would be awesome for the very end of Mario Odyssey. But
hush. I'm through New Donk City, and I'm on whatever I picked the water one instead of the ice one because ice always sucks.
The Lake Kingdom. It's not bad. There's no real horrible levels.
I know, but just default since I don't know what was the first game that had ice that you would slide on. I don't know. Probably in an arcade somewhere. Yeah. Even before that, right?
No, I don't know. I don't even know if you slide in Ice Climbers.
I think there was.
I think we all hate. We learned to hate it from the Mario games, probably.
If I remember correctly, in Ice Climbers, maybe it was Ice Climbers. There was a thing that would come out. There was like an iceberg thing that would come out and freeze the little platform you were on, and then it was super slippery. Yeah, that was Ice Climbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. So ever since then, ice level. No, if I have the choice between an ice level and something else, I choose the non-ice level.
Yeah. I think there will be some slippery spots in that ice. Yeah. In that ice one. I can't remember which one I picked there, but there's no avoiding it. You're going to get both levels no matter what.
I know.
It's not that bad. The whole game's not that bad. My 4-year-old beat that game.
New Donk City was far smaller than I would have hoped.
Yeah. It's got a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of verticality to it.
It is. I mean, no, it's not. It's jam packed. Don't get me wrong. And when you're standing in the middle of it, it feels like you're in a dense little city. But then as soon as you get to the top of a building, and it's like, oh, that's really all there is. And I was also
city's just a couple blocks.
I also was disappointed there wasn't like a real, Donkey Kong reference. I thought there was supposed to be. Maybe I didn't find it.
Did you beat it? You beat that level? Did you get the festival going?
No, I didn't. I got the 4 musicians, and then it was like, no, we just need power, and I'm like, meh. I got my moons. I'm moving on.
Go back and get the power.
Go back and get the power.
Do it. It's worth it. That's the best. Some people say that's the best part of the whole game.
All right. Well, I also the other part of the reason I didn't do it is I figured it was some cinematic event, so I just figured I'd wait until the wife was around.
The Game Explain boys cried.
That's
they had said during that part, I don't understand why, but for some reason, some people get real choked up at the New Donk City Festival. But anyway,
All right.
Labo. Yep.
Yeah, let's pull it back to Labo. Now I know this is more up your alley, the Toy-Con Garage. We kind of mentioned it last week. Could you kind of give us a quick run through of what all that would entail?
Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about with the development environment. It really is it's like even the interface looks like a basic object-oriented programming interface. It's a little flow chart that you just set up and say, I want this to do that, and then you set it up and plug your Joy-Con in it. There's probably a bunch of custom stickers for that and whatever, or you can just make your own. Right? It's like the AR cards on the 3DS, where it's just looking for a particular design or picture.
Yeah.
So you can probably just create your own and just do all your own stuff with it. And it's what you can do with it is limited by your imagination and the capabilities of the unit. But the unit's got a lot of capabilities with the camera, right?
Right.
There's a lot of there's a lot of ons and offs that you can have it do. There's a lot of different commands that you can give it by way of that. So there's, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking randomly. For example, one Arduino project that I never did, but is really common on the internet, and a lot of people do, is like their first big project, is you can just make a little thing that'll automatically water your plants based on the dryness of the soil. And you can use it with you just plug in a piece of metal into the soil that based on the conductivity of the metal, it can tell roughly how much water's in the soil. So when it gets too dry, it'll just automatically water. So it's something kind of like that, but all based around Nintendo's console.
You could set up a security system for your door where when it's opened, you put a little reflective tape on the inside of the door, so when somebody opens the door, it trips the alarm.
Yeah, or if the infrared camera has distance sensing capability, which I think it does.
Supposedly it does. Yeah.
You don't even need the reflective tape on the door, really.
That's how it tells if you're eating the sandwich.
Yeah.
Or how
or
close
something.
to being done eating the sandwich you are on 1-2 switch. So
and we don't know exactly what this camera sees per se.
You can make a man fall down.
Yeah, exactly.
But more like a sensor than a camera.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. Here's the other thing that's interesting about this is if this is indeed kind of its own programming interface, I would see homebrew people. Once hacked switches become a thing, and they're really not yet, I would see homebrew people doing all sorts of crazier stuff with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once they're beyond whatever the limitations of Nintendo's interface, like there could be some nuts stuff even beyond what you can do out of the box with it. Kind of the way Wiimotes, right? And again, I like to point out, because I'm sure I pointed it out before, the entire modern drone industry is effectively based on the Wiimote. Like all of the modern motion tracking stuff that all the drones use to stay upright and basically fly themselves, all that it's all the same. It all originally it was all Wii tracking. It's all modern now, but it all is based on that original technology. All the software that I have for programming I got a little cheapo drone a few years ago, and the software that I had for it was some multi-Wii something or other was still the name of the software because it was one of the original pieces of software for this. So it's like
wow.
Nintendo does. So I have I see this being a bigger thing than the Switch potentially. Than the Switch itself. Like I see. Right. You know how people did, there were like the Wii, people were putting the Wii in nursing homes, and it had a much broader range than just playing video games. And I kind of see,
college
down the road, we're going to
engineers.
start hearing, we're going to start hearing weird stories about Switches in unexpected places doing unexpected things other than games or, loosely game related.
I'm still impressed when people build Yoda out of Legos. So yeah, there's going to be so much cool stuff that's going to be all over the internet.
Talking about cool stuff all over the internet, that kind of leads into my next point I was going to make. I think we've all seen at least some, or heard at least some of the people who've had a chance to go hands-on with Labo at one of the Nintendo events, or have been invited by Nintendo to an event. Is that what was your impressions from what they said? I guess is what I was going to.
I'm just going to say real quick, I kind of purposely avoided all that. I don't watch any of those. Because I just like as you guys have said, so many of those people just irritate the crap out of me. I don't want to watch them doing it. But the other side
of it is Labo spoiler free.
Well, that's the real reason. It's the same thing going, like the same reason I haven't read anything about the new Star Wars movie, because I have a new kid. I'm not getting to the theater anytime soon, so I'm just necessarily waiting for Blu-ray or whatever. And so I just don't read anything about it. So I'm already in that mode about a lot of things. There's certain things that are in my feed, pop up in my feed all the time. I just blind myself to them and don't look. And the Labo stuff, I mean, news, sure, but any of these hands-ons I've just avoided because I'd rather experience myself the first time. Take my box of cardboard home, tear it open, and figure out what the hell to do with it.
Did anyone?
The only thing I took away from it is just they've all got incredibly long build times from what I understand is that like the I know they said, I don't even know if they said anything on the robot suit, but they said like the fishing rod takes at least an hour. They said even the little RC car was supposed to be like 25 minutes to a half an hour.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either. Yeah, it looks like I could fold it in 5 seconds.
And like I don't understand. I
don't know. But yeah, I mean that's from what I understand, and they have different capabilities. They mentioned like that you can, which I don't remember if I talked about this last week or the week before, but they had said that you can like set the RC car up so that you can like make it follow a person because it can sense it with a camera. So you can do other things other than just the vibration thing. You can actually have it. Now, of course, like you said, it's probably got to be on a table or a hard surface, a hard floor, something like that. So it's limited by where it can move.
But it's still
but still it's smarter than you would think it would be.
It really, I mean, now that I'm thinking about the goal of this, the goal of every one of these is to fold it up and go, wow, it really works.
It's
kind of sad but true.
Well, I'm sure that's the first thing everyone's going to build is going to be that car. Like that looks,
because it's stupid simple.
Next to the man. It seems to be the simplest thing. And they did say in the stuff I heard that it comes with 2 RC cars. So that'll be nice because I could just keep one and never use it. But they said there is like a 2-player mode where there's some kind of game you can play if you have another set of Joy-Con. Thing I had listened to said there's a lot of stuff where the more Joy-Con you own, the more stuff you can do. So Z's in luck.
I'm in luck.
I saw,
because they said you can like kind of daisy chain them all together.
I saw a video on that where they had the 2 RC cars, and the way I understood it from what the demo was showing, it was just the left and right Joy-Con in each RC car, and they were both playing off, holding the Switch screen between them, pressing the buttons, which looked really awkward but doable.
They said it was 4 Joy-Con but 1 Switch screen.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But okay, I could see, for example, at least with 2 switches, I could see a game where you have 2 cars. Those infrared cameras on the Joy-Con could be like guns, right?
Yeah,
and you could be
like battle tanks,
like laser tag, kind of thing. That would work. They could pull that off, and that would be a legit game, and it could keep score. And like, I could see all that. That would work.
And 5 minutes later, you'd be bored. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's the idea is really cooler probably than the stuff itself. But it's just like, hey, it can do this. That's kind of neat.
How about you, Eric? Have you watched any of the preview stuff or any of the?
No, I don't plan on buying Labo, so I didn't watch any of the hands-on stuff either. Anti-Labo.
Jason's the Labo hater of the group.
I don't really hate it. It's just not for me. I mean, you guys are excited about it, and I watched the videos and everything. That's great, and I may be proof wrong. I mean, you guys may be loving it, and I regret it, but I'm kind of with you, Eric.
I would really hate a Labo.
We're like, oh my god, if you could just go hands-on with this Labo car, Jason, it's going to change your life. And you'll be like, oh, I'll go out and get the set today.
I want to try Project Giant Robot more than anything. That's otherwise I wouldn't have bought that robot suit.
It's going to take you a week to build.
I know. Honestly, I wish I wouldn't have to build a stupid robot suit to play Project Giant Robot.
Do you think someone on the internet will sell pre-assembled ones, like even just from the cardboard? Like he'll go on eBay, like, Labo pre-assembled. Ships in an extra cardboard box.
It costs more to ship it. Yeah, I was gonna say it would cost too much to ship it.
Yeah.
What are you shipping at the post office? Well, I'm shipping a box full of cardboard.
Yeah, full of cardboard that's mostly hollow. Like the robot backpack is really mostly hollow.
Yep.
Just an empty box.
Yeah.
Oh, and the people that went hands-on also did say it seemed to be pretty resilient cardboard. They said it was a high quality, like a good density cardboard, and that it seemed fairly sturdy for being cardboard. So that's good. But I think we all kind of hoped it would be, or assumed it would be.
I will say,
remember we're listening to podcasts, or these are people who get free stuff from Nintendo, so of course they're going to say, "Oh, this is sturdy cardboard."
Everyone unanimously loved it that I heard, which means nothing to me.
Yeah.
But the point I was going to go for is, you remember when the Amiibo were first shown at E3? They were really detailed, really high quality, and everybody's like, "Wow, look at the detail." Then when they came out, it's like,
his sword is bent.
Yeah. So,
why does Samus lean?
Right.
Well, it's cardboard, dude.
Yeah.
How could you screw that up?
It's like a really crappy print job.
The quality
the perforations are all half-ass.
The quality may not what, Jason?
I was just saying the quality may not be the same as at the demo. I'm not saying it'll be bad, but I'm just saying it may not be as wonderful as they had. Because a lot of what they were playing, from what I understand, they had like 4 hours. They were given one Labo to build, and if they either completed it in their allotted time or not, and then they played with pre-assembled Labo from Nintendo. So that might be a little different than what the typical experience, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, Z and I, or at least Z, will be able to give you definitely a hands-on.
What about you? I thought you ordered it.
I mean, I pre-ordered it, but those can be canceled. I don't know. We'll see.
You just pre-ordered the variety pack.
The variety pack, yeah. I'm not the suit, even though it's like the coolest. It's supposed to be the coolest, but it's like I can see myself instantly like regretting it, like having it playing for like 20 minutes and then being like, man, what am I going to do with this stupid suit
on this? Yeah. No, I have a feeling that's.
Although it'll be a bitchin' Halloween costume for you this year.
That's true.
I'm be Labo Man.
I might wear it for. Yeah, I'm going to be Cardboard Man. I might do it.
In fact, you could be the little fall down guy from Labo. if you just traced your own body in cardboard.
There you go.
Wrote Labo on the front. Make yourself like a Labo gingerbread man.
Speaking of that, there's not a definitive Labo mascot, which I think is kind of odd.
It's the fall guy, dude.
Yeah.
It's totally the falling man.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's it. But
that's Labo.
Yeah.
I think it's the bug, actually. I think they're trying to push that bug car thing as the Labo mascot. But
square.
It should be Fall Guy. And if I was going to have a Fall Guy costume, I would need a giant Joy-Con backpack.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty sweet. I bet those exist in Japan.
Yeah.
I would totally get a giant Joy-Con backpack. That would be awesome.
I am starting to wonder if if they're just going to start adding the O to the end of words for everything because they did Amiibo and now Labo.
It is kind of a Japanese thing, isn't it?
It's like just add an O.
Yeah.
No, a bow.
Yeah.
Right?
Where's Waldo?
We're so off topic. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Jason?
Yeah, what's next? We've beat that cardboard box as far as we're gonna.
We've kind of got all we can get out of Labo for now. But the next topic is Linux being on Switch. So apparently, I don't know exactly who it was, but they got together and they've got Linux to boot on Switch, which is opening it up for homebrew apps. And their big bragging rights here is Nintendo can't supposedly patch it out. So.
Yeah, from what I saw, it looks like they actually went physically in, which I don't know if that means they're just displaying it, running it from another source. Because in the picture that they posted, there's like an actual physical wire running into like it had the right Joy-Con removed, and it was physically patching it in through the physical connection where the right Joy-Con would attach. Like they kind of had it disassembled a little bit. So I don't really understand. I don't know anything about computers, obviously. So I don't know what it is, but they're basically saying that it's a physical exploit, not a software one. So
that's why
there's no way it can be patched. But
don't the Joy-Con
just run on your Blu-ray player? They do, but they're going in through the physical port where the Joy-Con would connect at.
Yeah, that's how they had to hack it, apparently. So it's just like it's the barrier to entry for this is not.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do this.
No.
They as a proof of concept kind of thing. It's like, power to them, but this isn't something Nintendo's going to be worried about.
Yeah, and 99% of people aren't going to be interested in doing this.
Yeah, and of those 1%, only a small portion are going to decide that, okay, I have the means and the desire to really rip this thing apart and wire into it, and that's it's a very different thing than I can download something, plug it into my PC, and bam, it's this is a whole process that requires real engineering to pull off. So
yeah. I'm gonna go off on a side tangent.
It happened, but
I know Z, you've said your Joy-Cons sometimes are a little looser than you would like.
Are we talking euphemistically here? Or
No. I thought you said that your Joy-Cons were kind of have a little bit of wiggle to them.
Yeah, certain ones in particular.
One of my friends who just got a Switch at Christmas had dropped his Switch. And after dropping it, the Joy-Con, I think it was his left Joy-Con, would just pull right off.
Yeah. I returned.
He didn't have to push the button or anything.
Yeah, I paid Nintendo to fix that for one of mine. I did the same thing.
Somebody in China is now, just as a PSA for anyone out there who has the same issue, is selling little metal latches that replace the plastic ones.
Oh no!
That go on there. So he's got that now, and he installed that himself, and that fixed his problem. Now the only question really is, because the original ones are plastic, maybe that was kind of part of the design, so that when it failed, it didn't break the switch and just popped the Joy-Con off or something. So now it's on there really solid. So if you drop it, it's not going to pop the Joy-Con off. So I don't know if maybe that'll cause more damage in the long run or not. But since we were talking about the Joy-Con side, that reminded me of that.
Yeah, and I remember those guys that dropped the Switch from the drone. It landed on one of the Joy-Cons, shattered the Joy-Con, but the Switch was otherwise perfectly fine.
Right.
Now that Joy-Con didn't even move. So I would imagine that's what's going to happen is if you drop the Switch, it's just more likely to destroy your Joy-Con, less likely to destroy a Switch. But if you bend those metal rails in there, right, then you're gonna have to get them, like if they're misshapen, you're not gonna be able to slide a Joy-Con on.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I think, your biggest problem with dropping it is, you could break it's more likely to break your Joy-Con instead of absorbing the force and just popping it off. But it's also more likely to bend if it takes a hit. It's more likely to bend the rails that the Joy-Cons go on, and then you won't be able to get a Joy-Con back on without bending them back.
Best thing to do would be not drop your Switch. But apparently it just cannot be done.
Yeah, it was my left Joy-Con as well. And I called them up to set up the ticket to return it, and it was out of warranty. So because I had bought it was the aftermarket one, not the one that came with the Switch. So it was only 90 days. And they took care of it for me. They also fixed the Wi-Fi issue on $15.
Oh, it's not bad.
But as for Linux, it's a cool party trick. I don't know if anyone's going to
exactly.
do it.
Exactly. It's a neat trick, and kudos to the guys that pulled it off. But otherwise, it's just a thing that happened and doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
So next we're going to be talking about this game. I don't really think anybody here plays it very often or anything, but I thought we'd bring
it up
anyway. Yeah, at all. We didn't have to wait on them to join us in the podcast. Or
seriously, is that what we were waiting for, Mo? That was what we were waiting for.
No. Of course, I was waiting for the Avengers to assemble.
Of course, we're talking about Mo's favorite game of the moment is Rocket League.
Yeah. Of the last how many months? How long has it been out? 3 or 4?
I don't know. 4. Yeah, probably September, I guess. Yeah.
5.
What a value.
Yeah, I don't know how much money you've dumped into loot boxes. We couldn't get hard numbers out of you, which scares me, but
no. Less than $50. Less than $828.
Way less than some others have.
Less than Eric Scott and Badge Arcade.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still
but even then, like at dollars per hour or hours per dollar,
because I don't know if I hit 550. I know I'm over 500 hours though, so it is the number one most hours of anything. It has surpassed Splatoon and Breath of the Wild,
both of which you had ungodly amounts of hours in, by the way.
Yeah, I'm over 400. I think it's Splatoon, but yeah, so overall it's good. Although I will say lately I've been having an issue, which at least 2 other people now that I know that play it on Switch have confirmed, because they just started a new season, and when they do the season, they also at the same time will implement bug fixes and stuff like that. So they do like a software update at the same time. And when they did this software update, since they've done it, I'm randomly just sometimes in the middle of the match will just get the black screen of death from the Switch that says the software has been closed due to an error, which I was not getting before. And it's the most annoying thing, especially when you're in a ranked competitive match, and then all of a sudden it just drops you out of that match. Luckily, you can restart the software and get back in probably in less than a minute, but it's still, your teammates are, I'm sure, thanking you for disappearing. So, but more software updates inbound.
Yeah, what we were going to get into is there's going to be a graphics update, actually. So it's going to offer 2 different modes. One is performance mode, the other's quality. On performance mode, it allows you to do 900p on the TV or 720p handheld at 60 frames per second. Quality mode is 1080p on the big screen, 720p again on the small screen, but offering added effects, but only at 30 frames per second. And it's supposed to launch this spring.
I mean, that's a neat option, and it's a neat idea, and it's for a competitive online game like Rocket League. Who would go for the lower frame rate, though?
I don't think I would.
The only time
I would go. Yeah.
Here's where you would do it is if you're playing local, right? If you had a bunch of friends together with Switches,
maybe. The thing is, the Switch still has kind of some issues with the game. There's like one of the cool little things that you can get from loot boxes is what's called a goal explosion. When you shoot the ball, it goes into the goal. There's an explosion, and that just naturally happens. It's usually like a colored puff of smoke or something like that. But then there's different ones. One of them, when you shoot the ball in, that you can get randomly through a loot box, is called popcorn. and the goal explodes with white popcorn that just goes all over the field, like out of the goal, and then you hear the sound. When that happens on Switch, there is a huge slowdown of it trying to process that, and some of, it's like it's 10 frames a second popcorn, which it doesn't really matter because that's during a goal, so you're not really playing when the goal is scored. The game kind of stops and resets.
It's a cinematic effect.
Back to like the kickoff, yeah. But you do notice, so I don't know if it would like address some of that, but there's different like rocket trails you can get for your car. So when you hit boost, like I've got one where it shoots out tacos out of the back of the car when I'm doing the boost. There's ones with like nuts and bolts and stuff like that, and some of those that are more graphically dense can slow down a little bit. I think it's mainly the goal explosions that I notice it with, but it's only a couple. Like there's one that they did for the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think this update will give you the option to turn those off?
I don't think so. I think maybe the graphical thing might affect those a little bit. Like if it drops it to 30, maybe it will process things like that a little bit smoother. Like I said, I know there's some of the you can. There's like weather effects that you can have where it'll be like raining on certain tracks. It doesn't affect the game. Like if it's raining, it doesn't make the field slippery or anything. It just is a graphical effect, and you can turn those off, which I do in the menu. You can turn off weather effects, which I do just because I figure it's more of a stress on the system. But even like the grass textures and stuff look worse on the Switch. So I'm guessing that this will probably enhance some of those things. That it'll just kind of pretty up the lighting and the lighting effects and shadows and some of the finer details probably get better.
On a related note, though, this is why the more I think about the Switch's life cycle and it being suddenly so far behind Xbox One X and which I can't believe I just said that whole name, and PS4 Pro, it's you know what I mean? It was just a little bit behind the first generation of those consoles. It's now way behind the others, and so it's like we're hearing more and more. Dark Souls is 30 frames. Doom was 30 frames. I think a hardware refresh is going to be in the Switch's future sooner rather than later. A new Switch,
maybe.
Just because I think they're gonna, you know what I mean? It's quickly starting to feel like that. Even though it's the portable and and it's cool and I love my Switch. Don't get me wrong, but it's starting to get that feel again of.
Give me that Tegra 2, baby.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it's right. It's you get that feel again that you always had with the Wii U or whatever. It's just like I'm not getting it, or I'm not getting the full version of it, or with the Wii, or with the 3DS, even any of the handhelds. It's like you're getting like you said earlier. We were talking about the Humble Bundle that just passed, and you saw the first Max Payne for GBA, and you passed on it because you knew it would be terrible.
Well, I mean, I think it might have even been like one of those diagonal or overhead view compared to the game, which
was a 3D.
Not.
Yeah. No, I know.
So
but that's what I mean. I'm starting to feel a little bit of that on the Switch again, right? Where it's like,
at least they're the same versions, though. I mean, the Doom is still Doom, and a little asterisk. Bethesda is actually answering some prayers. And has said that this month they are releasing an update to Doom to finally fix the audio glitches and stuff that it's had since launch. Which is a surprise because, from what I understand, Bethesda never patches their stuff. So this is
and which also means they're never going to patch in Splatoon style shooter controls, which is what would make that game an instant buy for me.
But it's something. But I think the thing is with a Game Boy game. Like the Max Payne we were using as an example, or even Grand Theft Auto as an example, they changed the games. It was a different game.
I know, but
Switch,
we really
at least it's still the same game. It's just a lower quality.
I know, and I have touted that as well as how exciting it was to have a Nintendo console that was on par, but it just the more I'm hearing about how we just barely got this running at 30 frames a second, it's like, well, as more and more stuff is coming out to specifically take advantage of these second generation Xbox and PS4.
Yeah.
It's just
it's almost more comparable to like Wolfenstein 3D on the Super NES versus Wolfenstein 3D on the PC, where it's kind of the same game. They just but even though they changed the Super NES, so that's a bad one. But maybe Doom on GBA versus Doom on a PC, it's close.
I guess back in the day, NES ports of arcade games that were 16-bit,
or
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's just, but yeah, these are good enough, I think.
Especially
if you haven't played it.
There aren't that many of them, and I think it's because of the effort involved in bringing it to this console that's just barely got enough power to even do it.
Well, yeah. When they brought Doom over, they acted like they were pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Like everyone's just this is a technical achievement.
And I think it is. That's the thing is, I think it kind of is. Even at 30 frames a second, it's like this system. That's as good as it's gonna get. I think.
Yeah.
On here.
Sorry, Jason.
So I mean,
no developer wants to see their game at a worse state than optimal,
Unless it's
probably some pride there as well.
Unless like Rocket League. Rocket League's mindset is it's just got to look good enough because the basics of the game really graphics really don't matter. It could be 8-bit almost, It doesn't. It's the basic premise of the game. I mean, sure, visibility is a thing, but you know what I mean.
I think you still want 60 frames for that, though.
Yeah, you do for competitive game, agreed. But I mean, otherwise, accessibility is kind of king for them. Like any PC, even a shitty PC, can pretty much run it. So for that, those guys,
nobody's mind is blown by Rocket League's graphics. Like nobody's like, "Wow, this is the best looking game I've ever seen." But as companies continue to try to outdo themselves on, just like movies do with, this is the most amazing looking effects ever in a video game and stuff like that. They're not going to be able to do that on Switch.
Yeah. It's like
they have to cut corners.
It's like if you had a movie theater that just couldn't get a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Right? Couldn't get Star Wars.
But it would be one from 1990s.
Or you get
we can't show CG, but
or you get the basic they can only show it in basic stereo in crappy seats. Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that games do this. I've heard some other games on Switch, I think, were offering that. And I think even on other systems, some games offer the ability to do prettier graphics with a lower frame rate and better graphics or worse graphics with a higher frame rate. So that's it's nice to at least have an option.
The PC side, every game has graphics options.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be night and day.
Yeah. Having more options is always a good thing.
Yeah.
No, I agreed. To me, it highlights a worry about the Switch. It's very capable and it's very neat, and I love it. And I'm buying $120 worth of friggin' cardboard, because of it. But I just, you know what I mean. And again, I've got a gaming PC for this stuff, but I would just like. I'd like more stuff like Doom, 30 frames a second Doom. Okay, I'll deal. I just want a lot more stuff like that to choose from for my Switch.
Yeah,
and
I
there isn't.
Did not notice any issues with Doom as far as it seemed smooth enough. I didn't notice any kind of weirdness when I was playing it, other than the normal glitches that they're supposedly fixing. But it still felt like I was getting a full experience.
And
if you look at it side by side, that might not be the case. But
how can the Switch compete with a PS4 and a Xbox One X graphically if it's a hybrid portable system, right? I mean,
it can't.
Unless you're using
but you can play it while you're pooping.
Well, and here's the other thing is I've actually heard in some cases it's the CPU, not the GPU, that's the bigger problem with the Switch. And I don't know, where everything measures up exactly, but right, the actual processor itself, not just the graphics processor, is part of it.
Yeah.
But again, Nintendo, and this is the problem and this is why it's always a Nintendo console for Nintendo games. Nintendo, the way that they do their games just works on lower hardware. Just, you know what I mean? Mario, by definition, is bright colors and cartoony stuff.
Yeah, even Splatoon works better.
Yeah.
And Zelda, if they tried to make Zelda look like Skyrim, people would hate it. It would suck. Yeah. Right? Zelda necessarily. I think the look of Breath of the Wild is really the best look they could have chosen by far.
Yeah. Although it's still pretty drab for a Nintendo.
Yeah, but
there's not a ton of bright colors going in that game.
Yeah, but if you play the OG Zelda, neither was there.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean, it honestly, it was
earth tones.
It's damn similar color palette to the original 8-bit Zelda. Actually, they might have done that kind of on purpose.
Splatoon 2 runs at 60 FPS, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yep.
So did 1, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Hot.
But then it's not 1080p, or
good on them.
I think the old Splatoon was 720.
Yep.
What's new when we're plugged in? 900?
Probably 900, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really looked at that. 720 is good enough for me on whatever I'm playing on.
It looks good.
Yeah, I don't like certain things, sure. And again, for like PC games, like you're playing a strategy game where you're looking at a whole map or civilization or something, then sure, higher resolution is better. But for Mario Kart or even Zelda or Mario, like 720 is plenty good enough for me for that kind of stuff. But again,
or versus Super Mario Brothers.
Or Minecraft.
Fond of bringing up Minecraft, yeah. I love when Microsoft touts big graphical updates for Minecraft, and it's like, really?
They advertised the Xbox One S that way. They're like, Minecraft in 4K.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Through the rolling clouds, and okay. So what?
All right.
So anyway.
Moving on. We've got something for everyone tonight. I know this is definitely for Eric here. Capcom operating income is up over the last 9 months of 2017. The income is up by 36.9%, which is equivalent to $64.5 million. The previous year was down by 51.9%, so definitely a big improvement. And I know one of the things that they mentioned is Ultra Street Fighter 2 is a smash hit. So I think the Switch definitely had some effect in it.
Can I point out the numbers there that they were down? If they were down the previous year by 51.9%, and they're up this year by 36.9%, then they're not. Yeah, they're still slightly in the negative. I don't know, percentages work, right? But they're about. They might be about where they started, I think. But yeah, so you're the only one that picked up Ultra Street Fighter, right? Oh, go ahead.
He's not the only one.
Yeah. It's a smash
Hundreds of thousands of people. It's a smash hit.
I think it certainly explains why there's another Street Fighter coming to the Switch so quickly.
Yeah. They're like, these suckers will buy anything.
Oh no, I'm doing
them like almost nothing.
Yeah, they are totally still at a weight loss. But
it depends on what they're operating. It depends on like what the percent of the whole was, but yeah, they're probably still in the negative. I mean, I was gonna say 36% or 30 whatever. That's a pretty good increase until I saw that they were down
the previous year by over
half. I was like, wow.
Yeah. But it's still an improvement. It's not another year in the law.
Well, and Ultra Street Fighter 2 was, like, it came out when there was hardly anything on it. I almost bought it. Not for
I think
40
we were all
bucks.
tempted.
But you bought ARMS instead.
I bet. Oops.
He was
My
supporting
mistake.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I was supporting Nintendo, and I really thought it was cool, and I
Yeah.
still kind of think it's cool, just nobody else does.
I
I
saw
think
you
maybe
booted it up
ARMS
the other
runs
day.
at 60 frames.
Yeah, it does, I think. And then, yeah, you noticed that, huh? I did, because I just checked in to like there was new updates and stuff. Like I got a bunch of free coins just basically for logging in. Oh, the main reason I was checking in actually was to see, because you commented on the Splatfests and the ARM Fests being at the same time, and they're not, because I just missed the last ARM Fest this past weekend.
Yeah,
I
but this
think in
past
Europe
weekend,
they are.
it was in Europe.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
people that were complaining was about the European
Oh,
one.
I
Yeah.
see. Gotcha.
But either way, so Capcom's had a lot of success, but they sure still don't seem super eager about bringing some of their other stuff over.
Like what?
I would like
like,
to see
Mega Man.
old arcade ports.
Well, they are going to bring
Capcom.
the Mega Man, but I want
Mega
Disney
Man.
Afternoon.
Oh yeah, the Disney afternoons.
Oh man,
Do they
That's
have
all
that
I'm
license
asking
still?
for. Yeah, they just released it last year on.
Oh, that's right, on the
everything
other
except
consoles,
for Switch.
except for
Yeah.
Switch, because they just suck. Yeah,
and Okami HD.
that's right.
Oh please, could we get that? I would probably double tip on a new Okami on Switch. So,
I've heard so
Yeah.
much about that game, I might pick it up just for that.
it's good stuff. You would appreciate the
What are
Japanese folklore spin on it. It's like a Japanese folklore based Zelda, if you want to think of it like that.
what are some old Capcom arcade games that they could bring? Like there's a
Strider.
Marvel versus Capcom. Strider.
1943,
It's like a
1942.
I didn't know they made those.
I just want the original arcade Commando because it was so much better than the Nintendo version. I also want the
Yeah.
original arcade Ikari Warriors, but that wasn't Capcom.
That was IRAM.
But
They're bringing a Ace Attorney to Switch.
Yeah,
Hooray.
I think that was confirmed, right? That they're doing that, which makes sense.
Is there anybody here that cares? I have a friend or two.
I played some of them.
Yeah, I know a lot
My
of
sister likes
friends that are excited about them.
They're
So,
kind of
I
RPG.
played.
I don't know. There's lots of people that like those kind of games, but I like.
They're not really RPG, but they are just just reading a bunch of stuff and clicking.
Yeah, I played the demo and it was
Go ahead, Jason.
I don't think I made it. I played the demo and I don't think I made it all the way through it. It was just, it got really boring. It was a lot of reading and a lot of just quick.
There's a lot of reading. Yeah.
This does not
do you think the Switch can support 2 Street Fighter 2s at the same time?
I would say.
Do you think enough people will play it?
Or do you think they're hoping that a bunch of people bought it since the last one came out, and now they'll be like, "Oh, well, I'll buy this one since I didn't buy the other one"?
Yeah, probably. I think we interrupted Jason, but I agree with what you're saying. I think that's what's going to happen. Is most people that bought it at launch picked it up. People after that probably didn't.
I was just going to say, I think everyone that's going to buy the original Switch version has already bought it. You've got the people, near launch, and anyone at Christmas that sees it on there is going to go ahead and buy it. So when this next one rolls in, it's just people will be probably double dipping, I would assume.
I think the current one, when it went on sale, it was like a really crappy sale. Like it was like
$39.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was still over 30, I think. Yeah, but I'd imagine that's going to change once this one comes out.
I think it was like 10% off.
I was going to get the new one.
15% off.
I was going to get the new one, even though they have 12. Yeah, in May. But even though they have 12 games out, they don't have Street Fighter Alpha 2, so I guess I won't then.
That's your favorite one?
Why don't they have Alpha? That seems like a weird omission.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have. Yeah, that's my favorite one because in the arcade I was really good at that one. Yeah, they will.
Did they released Alpha 2 on consoles, right? Yeah, that's weird.
It's on Wii U, I think.
Think so?
Probably.
It is?
Maybe even. Maybe 3DS.
I didn't know that.
I think so. I think that was one of the ones. They released a bunch of different Street Fighter 2s on Wii U.
Oh, well, you talking about the Virtual Console ones? Because I got all those.
Yeah.
There's only one alpha in that batch. Picked them all up because there was a bundle deal. Like if you own 2 of them, then you got half off the rest of them. And I already had them on Wii anyway. Because I'd gotten suckered into buying Street Fighter 2. Like they released Street Fighter 2. They always do it. They release Street Fighter 2, and then a little while later they release Street Fighter 2 Turbo, just for suckers. Just because they know Turbo's the one people want. But they released the original one anyway first, and some people are suckers, like me. So on the Wii, I bought the original and Turbo, even though once you have Turbo, there's no reason to have the original anymore.
I think the only version I have of Street Fighter 2 is Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival for Game Boy Advance.
Who's your character?
So yeah. Oh, it is Alpha 2 on in that batch.
Wii U.
Yeah, you're right. They did release Alpha 2 on Wii U. So that's not in that Street Fighter bundle?
No.
That sucks.
Yeah. Wait, who do you use in Street Fighter, Z?
Oh, Chun-Li.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I can...
It's not a lot of people use her.
No, and the reason I used to use her is because we would play... My friends used to always call it tweaker mode, right? Because I would do the code for Turbo so you could do 10 stars. And then I'm just... With Chun-Li, you're just flying all over, and nobody can... It's hard to hit you. So I could just pick away at people, and it benefited me. The faster we set it, the better I did with her.
Right.
What about you?
Time for Eric to get the hashtag Do Not Forgive Capcom.
Ryu.
Nice.
Do not forget.
Default.
Yeah.
Who's everybody? Yeah. Does everyone else have a Street Fighter character? A default?
I was the Blanca guy, but it's just because I could spam his electricity.
Yeah, he had a good cheat move. Go ahead.
I think that's mainly who I used as well, just because it was like an easier character.
Because you could cheese the electricity.
Yeah. And I like Vega as well.
Yeah, that was my.
Vega's
that's the other one I was thinking of.
Vega was kind of a backup for me to Chun-Li because he was also really fast, but I didn't do as well with him. He was kind of hard. And I'd occasionally screw around with Ken or Ryu or Guile. Oh, I got pretty good at what's his name, E Honda.
Now in the newer games in Street Fighter 4 for the 3DS. I do not remember the character's name. He was what was it? He had like spiky hair and...
Guile?
No.
It was like a new character?
Yeah, it was a newer character. I'm not even sure. I think his final move was something like 10,000 deaths or something like that.
Yeah, Akuma. That's Akuma.
Akuma, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess that would be my go-to.
On, Ultimate Street Fighter 2, the final challenge.
Yeah, right after they released, Street Fighter for 3DS. What did we get Super Street Fighter for? Then they immediately released Ultra Street Fighter 4 as the definitive version. And I remember all the fighting community being pissed about that. Like they
released Ultra Street Fighter 4 on what? On what system?
I don't know, but they released. Yeah, maybe it wasn't even called Ultra. Maybe it was called something else. I thought it was called.
What was
Ultra,
the one that just came out last year?
That was Street Fighter 5.
That I bought?
5. You think we'll get that on Switch? It might be.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, they like competitive gaming experiences.
How often do they make a new Street Fighter? I mean,
I don't know.
Well, they made 2 in 1991 or something, and now we're on 5. So
not
that's the thing. In Street Fighter 4, they did the same. They were trying to do the same thing with 2, and that's what everyone was bitching about. Was that they just kept pumping out new versions.
Was there a Street Fighter 3?
So it's like, what's the definitive version?
Street Fighter 3.
Competitive version. Yeah, there was. It's in that collection, but I don't remember ever playing it.
For the competitive, that's a good question. Yeah.
Right. If there's a dozen different versions of Super Street Fighter 4 or whatever, then which one's the one that they're going to play at the matches, and which one do you want to practice on, and whatever. Yeah. So people were complaining about that because Capcom just kept pumping them out to make more money. Right. Which they do. Like, again, that's what they did last year for whatever super new challengers or whatever. But it's like, how many times can you just pump out the same game with like a new character or whatever? Like, it's a weird situation what they've done with Street Fighter. Like, there's a million versions of Street Fighter. So that said, their operating income after they release this big collection will no doubt be up again. But sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. Do you ever remember playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcade where they had this weird, I don't know what version it was, but you could just if you were Ryu, you could just shoot fireball after fireball in slow motion. So you'd have like 10 fireballs coming, and then they would also like undulate. So they're like going up and down, and I don't know, it was weird. Like,
that's a really weird hack.
I don't know if anyone else played that.
A lot of drugs back then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was slow motion. They were undulating, and you saw like 10 of them at a time. What drug does that sound like?
Like he could also see the music and knew what color it was.
And you could understand the Japanese phrases they were saying all of a sudden, right?
And the meaning of life.
And Ryu was talking to you.
Yeah.
He was standing beside you in the arcade.
No, you know what? Were you playing? Yeah.
I'm messing with Eric, but no, there were. I mean, I assume that was just a weird hack. Like, there was a Super Mario arcade game in my local arcade where Mario was on a skateboard.
What?
Right. I remember Pac-Man's. Yeah. It was just a graphic hack, but Mario was like kicking his little when he'd walk. He was just like kicking his little foot on a skateboard. Like they did something. I don't remember they did something with the Goombas, but like I remember playing Pac-Man where all the little ghosts would have flags on them when you ate a power up. Right. So it became a thing. Somebody with just enough programming experience to go in and play with something would like hack the code of the arcade game, and all of a sudden it's a new game and people will play it just because it's weird and different.
Hey man, I hacked Super Mario World, and after I beat the crap out of it, all the Koopas turned into Mario heads.
Did this really happen?
How'd you hack?
Yeah, but that's something that just happens when you get all the stuff in it. Don't you remember that in Super Mario World? Super Mario World, when you beat everything in Super Mario World, you get the little star next to your thing, and then all the Koopa heads, all the Koopa turtles turn into Mario heads, like little Marios, and then you can kick Mario's head down the road.
Like that. Yeah.
So that's like where they got the idea for being John Malkovich?
Possibly. That's pretty awesome.
When he goes,
that was a well-known thing. Doesn't everybody completely beat Super Mario World?
I was not a Super Nintendo guy, man. Like I said, I had discovered. Wait a minute. Did we have a late edition? Oh, okay. I can't say what I had discovered during that period in my life. Then
a Wild Max appeared.
A Wild Max.
But right. That was the teenage years when the Super Nintendo came out. So I was, and again, I'll mention that it was my first girlfriend's little brother that decided he was done with his Super Nintendo after he beat Zelda and was trying to sell it to me. He's like, dude, I heard there's a Metroid game coming out for it. I don't think he had, and it took like 2 more years before it finally did. But that suckered me into buying it off him.
Yeah. Well, now you've got the Super NES Mini, so you can go back and clear every single piece of Super Mario World for yourself.
Yep. Yeah. And you can use the rewind feature.
Does that have a Street Fighter on it as well?
Yeah. Turbo.
Just it Turbo. Does? Turbo. Oh, with Turbo? Mm-hmm. I thought they gave you the good one.
Yeah, so I
wow.
immediately went in, put in the code, and then that's like the only like snapshot I have saved of a game on that entire console is, because that
But
code's
you
kind
can
of a pain.
save snapshots. Oh, you mean the save state?
Yeah, the save state.
I was thinking like Switch. I'm like, how the hell do you get the snapshot off the system?
Well, I'm sorry.
How do you post that to Twitter? No, I know what you meant.
Yeah, like VMware, they use the term snapshot for that.
Yeah,
same
the save
basic,
states. Yeah,
save state. So yeah, so I got a save state for Street Fighter is the only one I've got in there. It's after putting that code in, because I don't know if anyone remembers that code was kind of a pain in the ass to put in. You've only got like 2 seconds to do it.
What's the code?
Up, down, left, right, BA, start. Oh.
Down R, up L, Y, B. It's not that bad, but you just have to put it in fast.
That just speeds it up.
Well, no, what it does is there's a little, when you log into the game first, there's a turbo option, and it defaults to 2 or 3 stars, and you can set it up to 4, and that's how fast the game plays. But if you put in the code, then you can set it up to 10.
Wow.
Nice.
And then it's just blazing. Like I said, my friends used to call it tweaker mode.
Good for Capcom. Now give us Disney Afternoon Collection.
Okami, please.
Yeah. All right.
Okami. Capcom made Okami? I thought that was a Nintendo. Oh.
No, because they released that HD edition, I guess, on PlayStation. Probably on Xbox as well. I'm not sure. But, yeah.
All
right. So moving on from Capcom, since we are a global podcast in a way, we like to cover stories from all over the world. We've got some numbers coming out of the UK, some pretty good numbers about software sales. This comes from GameIndustry, which is, I guess, a site that keeps track of these sort of things. So it's comparing January 2017 to January of this year. So box game sales have went up a little bit from 1.24 million to 1.25 million. The revenue for box game sales is up from 35 to 37 million euros. And Nintendo is, of course, credited with a rise in the performance, of course, because of the Switch. Nintendo holds 9% of the software market, went from holding 9% up to 13.6%. And it's the top game company as far as physical game sales. So pretty good numbers coming out of the UK for Nintendo.
I agree.
Not a lot to say there, but I thought they were interesting numbers.
No, I mean, it's funny that this whole year has just been story after story of Nintendo hits it out of the park. Here's another detail how it's doing great in France, it's doing great in the US, it's doing great here. And
yes, but we all know they will figure out a way to screw it up at some point.
You don't think they already are?
The game. Are you talking about the game drought right now?
Yeah.
And maybe
20 million.
I hope come Christmas time we refer to this as like the great drought of 2018, the first 2 months.
Yep.
But it's just
it makes up for it.
It's uncharacteristic for the Switch to have such a drought right now.
But it's very characteristic of Nintendo for those of us who have been fans of Nintendo for a long time, so that's why we're worried.
But they probably said in a boardroom somewhere, a bunch of people are going to be getting Zelda for Christmas. That'll keep them busy at least till April. So we don't have to release anything.
Please continue to enjoy the games. They're already available.
But being that some of the third-party stuff started flowing in November, I would have thought that it would have kept kind of...
It's like the fire hose was on and now off, man. It just, that's what really bothers me. It's
although we are getting cool stuff like Celeste and Owlboy came out today.
Those are not AAA titles, sir.
No, but they're as good as indies get.
Sure, they're top quality indies, and we got top quality indies before.
We have top quality indies almost all the time on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, we've had top quality indies on 3DS and Wii U. I mean, they've been, and that's great. Don't get me wrong, but like this is really feeling like the Wii U out of the gate had a ton of third-party multiplats. It had Mass Effect. It had Deus Ex. It had all sorts of stuff. It didn't. It had a Call of Duty. It's one of those shooters.
It had Call of Duty
Call of
Ghosts
Duty.
at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was out of the box.
It had all that stuff out of the gate and then gone for the rest of its life. And we had a bunch of stuff now before Christmas. Some of it had to sell okay. Like, I don't get it.
Still hasn't
Where
reached
is
a million.
the rest of the stuff? Do we know this?
Yeah. Well, no, we don't. But I mean, they had that campaign, and haven't heard anything.
Nobody's touting it yet. But go ahead, Jason.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of this maybe falls to Nintendo's side because they've been very much in control of what comes to the Switch. And I felt like that sudden burst we got was them suddenly allowing these developers that were wanting onto the Switch to, publish their games. And now they're just like, whatever.
I disagree.
Well, the other thing is that stuff had to already be in development.
Right.
Beforehand.
And I don't think developers were chomping at the bit at that point.
That's the other thing. Is what we could be seeing now
console.
Was the wait and see period.
Yeah.
What we're seeing now, the drought could just be they wanted to see how that other software performed before they committed. We were talking about in that investor meeting when they said like full. I forget what the quote was, but full support from third parties. And we were kind of questioning, like, well, what do they mean by full? It was like early and full support from, maybe they meant people making multiple games or fully committing on it. Because I'm sure a lot of them wanted to see what would happen with their software before they were like, okay, let's make something else now.
Rockstar put anything but L.A. Noire. That's it.
That was their feeler.
They did one.
We're kind of going ahead and rolling into this, so I just thought I'd go ahead and mention our next topic is Take-Two, which is 2K Games and Rockstar. It says they're impressed with the Switch, but nothing to announce at this point. But we have got L.A. Noire and WWE and NBA 2K Games.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the mentality of most of the big developers. Yeah, Switch looks great, but oh well, nothing right now.
You know what? 2K can keep their crappy broken games. They're 2 for 2. They're 2 for 2 right now between NBA and WWE. I think they need to learn how to port their games to Switch before they release any others. But also, it's Reggie says that a billion times. Hey Reggie, when are we gonna get blah blah blah? Well, I have nothing here to announce today. So that could be that kind of talk where. Then I'm sure the way Nintendo works is you announce it when we tell you can announce it. So I'm sure come E3 they're going to drop that GTA bomb on us. And maybe 2K will drop the bomb that they're going to fix their games. That'd be an awesome E3 announcement. From what I understand, NBA is better than WWE. I know WWE did some sort of update where they were supposed to have made it better. I haven't heard the verdict on that, but this is really the first time I can remember a Nintendo system getting games that were pretty busted.
Yeah.
Like, from the release. Usually even third-party stuff's fairly polished, But that's the modern era that all the other gamers have been, living in for years.
And that's also
Assassin's Creed came out.
I think that's it has to do with people saying, well, it's just the Nintendo console port. How much money are we going to make on it anyway? And not devoting enough resources to it.
Yeah.
And also Nintendo being like, hey, we want more games on this thing. We'll take whatever you got.
It could be, but I think that's just developers in general. But there must be some odd quirks to the Switch because there's been multiple, companies like I said, Bethesda had issues with Doom with some audio glitches, which they're finally patching.
Yeah.
There must be something in the Switch that's tricky.
Related, Jason, and what I think the part of the topic that we sort of skipped over is right now, or as of the end of the year, they said there's 3 times as many games on the Switch as the Wii U at the same point in the release cycle. And that doesn't surprise me. Twice as many as the Wii at the same point in the release cycle. That does surprise me, and that worries me. And Mo, you like to rant about why, but shovelware is not the way you go. Shovelware does nobody any good except the person making the shovelware. We don't want.
We're getting 2 billiards games.
Like, we got twice as much as the Wii, and what killed the Wii was the shovelware. And now we have twice as many games as the Wii at this point in the cycle. I think I see your problem, guys, or at least part of it. And again, are you fucking kidding me? The eShop, man.
Well, one advantage they've got right now is you don't see any of that crap, because if you're not one of the 15 best-selling games,
nobody can find
you're gone in a week.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's part of it. Is just there's like this rolling headline. If you're not checking the eShop weekly, you just miss most of it. Like, you don't, like, I don't, there's so much crap that I see, I'll run across a review for, and I'm like, what? And it's like, I didn't know this game was on here. Like you have no idea, and there's no search tools. We've bitched about this one enough, but it's so maddening.
Yeah, sometimes games will go on sale.
Yeah, I think there's at least once a week that somebody, either in this group or I see it on Twitter or something, mentions a game that's been on Switch for a while now, and yet I've never heard of it. Was not aware it existed.
Or in my case, it'll be, sometimes it'll be a game that I'm totally like, oh, I'm familiar with from Steam or whatever.
Right.
Oh, that's on Switch. I had no idea.
I see stuff going on sale, and I'm like, I didn't know that. I've never heard of this game. Like, when did that come out? Oh, it says it came out in November.
Yeah, it came out the same week as 20 other games. Yeah. I mean, we don't need this crap. I don't.
But for now, the cream rises. That might change.
I was just going to say there was many weeks there that we reported there's 26 new games on the Switch this week, 24 new games on the Switch this week.
And not a single one. Yeah, not a single one are any of us interested in whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, there's markets out there for some of this stuff, but whatever happened to the Nintendo seal of quality? Like, part of the reason I like playing on a Nintendo system in the old days versus a PC, that was like why I kind of went back to Nintendo consoles, is I get a nice curated, right? I only get the best stuff, right? And we live in an era now where, right, in my old mindset back in the day, I want a PC because I want everything, access to everything, and there's still an aspect to that. But now we live in an era where everything, like in any kind of media, everything's just too much. It's got to be curated. It's got to be maintained. Part of what makes Netflix what it is there's so much crap out there, and they don't have much of that. Or at least they
that might be changing.
Fair enough. But when I say crap, I mean I have a Roku, right? And there's these channels on there that are 100% like shitty B movies you've never heard of that look like they were shot in someone's backyard. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought when you said crap, you're going to say YouTube.
No, I mean production movies that are actually supposed to be movies that are just terrible. That are just, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Netflix,
those are some of my favorites.
They have a certain quality level that they maintain, or whatever. HBO more so, but it's right. It's about a curated experience. A lot more so. Right, I want, and Nintendo was always about that. The Nintendo seal of quality. The game that you're getting on your Nintendo system at least isn't crap. If you're paying $50 for a cartridge,
Go on the Wii U eShop right now and look at the games that are on sale. I don't want any of those games on Switch.
Admittedly, there was still some crap got through the filters, but you know what I mean. Not like now. Now there's just it's 90%.
Yeah.
Max, were you about to pipe up?
No.
She hates everything.
But who?
I'm picky. Games are expensive, so I'm picky. I want something I'm can be reasonably sure I'll like.
You're gonna love Rocket League.
I want to bring up a kind of a point here, talking about the Nintendo seal of quality. And I know one of us here, not naming any names, has got some attention because they did not like one of Nintendo's latest releases involving a certain pink puff. So,
what even the release? It was just the pink puff itself.
Just the pink puff.
Just the mere mention. She didn't like the mention of it.
Yeah.
So I'll let them speak to it if they wish to. But do you think that seal of quality is sort of weakened in a way, because these Kirby games, there's a lot of them, and I played the one on the 3DS, the demo, and it was pretty sad. I mean, if you like these games and you play them, I mean, good for you. If you like that, but I mean, we've got stuff like Amiibo Festival, Metroid Prime Blast Ball, Kirby
small
games.
Kids. I think the Kirby games they're targeting. That's always supposed to be their younger audience target. So I'm hoping, I at least hope that's what the thing is. Right, Amiibo Festival.
I think whereas Mario used to be their stand-in character, now it's Kirby. Like before, they just used to throw Mario on everything because he was their ambassador. But now they're like, this is a piece of crap. And they're like, let's put Mario on it. They're like, no, this is a big piece of crap. I'm like, okay, let's put Kirby on
it. No, this is a stinking pile of crap. Okay. What do we got? Chibi Robo.
Like, no, this is too low for Mario.
Too low
Let's
for
see
Mario.
Who else we got. Yeah.
That needs to be a hashtag. Too low for Mario.
Too low for Mario. That's kind of how it feels when they just when they shove Kirby on. I mean, when I see Kirby's, but I mean, there's definitely still Kirby mainline games, and there's the Robobot and stuff like that were okay. You know, they're not the best thing in the world.
Robobot was a mainline game?
Yeah, I think that was a mainline game. But it's the little mini game stuff that they keep throwing Kirby into that I just don't care. But this new one's supposed to be a mainline one, isn't it? The Switch one? Sorry, go ahead.
I was talking about the 3DS one that I really disliked. Yeah, I think the Switch one is. But does anybody
the one
else,
on 3DS is a mini game. Yeah.
There's so many of these Kirby games. Does anyone else like to have to actually see the game to know which one they're talking about?
Yeah, I can't keep track. Like I thought Star Allies, that's the Switch one, right?
I think so.
And it's basically the same as the multiplayer one on the 3DS, isn't it? Just like an expanded version of that. Which was
I don't think so.
And then wasn't there a free multiplayer Kirby something or other download on 3DS?
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the recent ones.
Was that a demo for something else, or was that its own game? Like, this is what I'm saying. I have.
But at this point, you could show me a screenshot, and I'd be hard pressed to tell you which Kirby game it was, unless it was Epic Yarn.
Yeah, and I don't know what. Yeah, I have no idea what's what. Like, I can't keep track. Planet Robobot's the last one that I know was like an actual Kirby game, and then there's been 3 since then now of the weird little mini spin-offs.
Well, that's the seal of non-quality is when you've got more than one Kirby, you're usually in trouble. Which this new Switch one,
or more than one Link, or more than one Metroid
Triforce Heroes, Metroid Blast Ball, maybe we've cracked the code. When there's 4, anything that's 4 characters with different colors that aren't Ninja Turtles, it's not good.
Well, Triforce Heroes was only 3.
That's true.
Right. That's Triforce.
But yeah, it's
it wasn't good.
That's how you can tell it's a stinker. It's
I talked to my wife and a friend of mine into buying that. We played it like one time. He was drunk. I got frustrated and just quit playing because he was drunk and playing like the randos you used to get in that game.
Yeah, that's got it online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be played online.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing. It was online only. So
Oh,
so
wait,
but
you
right,
can't do
you
local
get
third
randos
player?
that were terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, you could do local multiplayer. Sorry, I didn't realize that was the distinction.
But
you
nobody
know,
did
when you and your
except you.
2 other friends who also have the game come over.
Well, like the wife and I
Yeah.
were playing, on the couch next to each other, and my buddy was off getting drunk somewhere and frustrating the crap out of us.
We tried to play once, I think, and had a lot of disconnects or some kind of connection issues.
Mm-hmm.
I remember right.
Yeah. Looking back now, it's kind of impressive to me that 3DS supported multiplayer online at all, and that it ever worked at all. Like,
what's it called? Steel Diver Sub Wars, man. That surprises me how well that ran and worked. And I mean, it had its problems here and there, but
right. I mean, I hear a lot of complaints about Triforce Heroes. I've heard a lot of complaints about the Metroid Federation Force, of people having connection issues. But yeah, like Steel Diver was pretty solid. I think Smash was pretty laggy, wasn't it? For 3DS
problems. Yeah.
I played Mario Kart Online on 3DS a little bit here and there, and never
it
had
was
an issue.
okay.
But
Just in defense of Triforce Heroes, I think the major problem with Triforce Heroes was not the online connection, but rather finding somebody that wanted to play and that could play.
Yeah.
To be on your team.
That wanted to play right.
Yeah.
That would cooperate.
A lot of problems with games like that too is you've got a very short period of time where there's going to be any interest at all. Like, if I guarantee you trying to get a rando game of that going right now, you'd probably be hard pressed.
I think the last time I tried it timed out, or I got one person and it timed out.
And they just squid partied the whole time.
You just walk around the small room throwing each other. Not exciting.
So, I mean, a game like that, it's so stupid that, and can you do it with friends? Can you, like, online with friends, specifically choosing your friends? So
I played.
I guess that's the only way you can really do it.
I helped some friends. Yep. I played online with several friends, and if you can get a full team of friends, you're really doing good. It's
and
more
with that,
fun.
Is it fun? Is it enjoyable?
Some of it is okay. No.
Some of it is okay. That's the best review. They should put that on the box.
I think I played through
some of it is okay.
I played through a large portion, like 3 or 4 of the worlds with a couple of people, and I think we all felt once the game was over, between us going a few times and wanting to break our 3DS in half. When we finished it, no one wanted to go back to it. Let's play some more for fun.
There was no. Yeah, I agree. It was not. It really felt like a chore.
No. All right, let's move on. Bring it back to the Switch. So, we did get some game listings. I'm not sure if these are predictions or just good ideas that people have come up with based on things found online. But it's just some dates for upcoming games. One is the Pokemon RPG coming to Switch, and it's listed as 2018 or later. And
is that like a mystery dungeon?
I would assume that would be the main series game, the Pokemon Stars, as people assumed it would be. So whatever they're working on.
Well, they declare it to be a Pokemon RPG, right? So that should be main game, hopefully.
I would think if that was confirmed, it would be much bigger news.
Well, it says 2018 or later, so that might be what blows up E3.
Well, everything is 2018 or later.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
These people must have a relative that works at Nintendo.
Of course. Don't we all? I think we all have a relative that works at Nintendo.
But yeah.
Fire Emblem and Yoshi were both also slated as 2018 titles, which I think we kind of expect those both to come.
I expect Yoshi this year for sure. I don't want it.
I think that will be the holiday. Yeah. I think that'll be the holiday time.
I don't know. It seems like a crappy summer title.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yoshi Labo.
That's true. They might come earlier.
The other two games that were listed were Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4, and they get our favorite designation for a time frame, which is to be announced. Which I think that's pretty much what we all know anyway.
Yeah, I really am not on the Metroid 4 this year bandwagon. I don't think it's coming this year.
You think we'll at least get a trailer?
Man, I'm still not even optimistic. It'd be great if we did. The thing is, at this point, to follow up what they did last E3, they said they could just show us concept art or show us a 30-second trailer that only has 10 seconds worth of actual footage in it, and it would be something. I think
kind of like with Breath of the Wild. That when I remember the scene that we watched so much was Link coming out on the horse with the hood up and firing the arrow, the Guardian, I believe.
Yeah, and people were like, "Is that a boy or a girl?"
Right. That's the kind of trailer I expect if we see anything.
You know what's awesome about that trailer, though, is that's something you can actually do in the game. Like that's such a cutscene, like animatic looking thing, but you can really ride a horse, jump in the air, and shoot a Guardian in the eye. Like,
and it really does do slow mo. Yeah.
So good on them, but I don't know if I think Nintendo maybe has learned their lesson from the past. Like, remember when the Wii U came out, there was like a tech demo kind of trailer for a nondescript Zelda game that never happened. Yeah, and then Breath of the Wild came out and looked nothing like it. So I think the reason they don't show stuff is maybe they've learned to not show a game, because they used to show games and then it would come out 2 or 3 years later and look completely different. So maybe that's why they don't show stuff anymore. So I don't know if I really wonder if Metroid could even be like 2019. I would think at the earliest, but you never know.
Yeah,
that would be their showstopper if they actually announced it this year and said, "Hey, it's coming this Christmas."
How big? How many? Like how much does that sell? It's highly revered and everything.
At least 100,000 copies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do we know how much money?
At most 200,000 makes? Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, if they starve everybody the way they've been so far this year, they'll be like, "Well, I guess I got to buy it."
I think that list also is missing another major title that wasn't named at all. That's Animal Crossing.
Smash.
And Smash.
Yeah, Animal Crossing will be their surprise for E3, I think.
I think if we do get an Animal Crossing reveal, if it's not going to be coming out this year, I think we will get a decent sized trailer that'll probably be 10 minutes or something like that. Wow. Isn't that what they've done with Wild World? Wasn't there like a 10-minute trailer?
It seems like it, yeah.
I don't remember. Like that. It came out in 2008, 6? I don't remember.
New Leaf got its own mini direct.
That's right.
I think the TV that looks
still waiting on that. Still waiting on that full direct.
That's right. I think we're past our 21 days there.
No, we're so close.
Yeah.
Any day now. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like, let's say they do announce Pokemon, Metroid, and Animal Crossing all at E3, and they're all coming out this year. Well, what else do we want next?
Right.
They
wouldn't like the F-Zeros.
They wouldn't do maybe Pokemon and Animal Crossing at the same time. Yeah. They look at it as too much of a crossover market.
But I mean, they've only got so many hit properties to release that they would have spent pretty much everything in the first 2 years if they put everything out now. Yeah, they somehow wasted Mario and Zelda the same year.
They needed it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it worked. But yeah, I don't know. It's like there's got to be a bunch of little stuff. I think they know about F-Zero
and Kart in the same year.
I think we'll see F-Zero in the next 2 years.
I don't think the F-Zero's another one of those ones that I think is often referred to and revered, but I don't think it sells a lot.
No, it doesn't. Neither does Metroid.
It couldn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
It couldn't have because they haven't had one in like 10 years.
No, but I mean, F-Zero X was huge. I don't think it's probably sold particularly well on the GameCube, but then the GameCube itself didn't sell particularly well. So
yeah, they still threw it on the NES or the Super NES Mini or Classic.
Yeah, I mean it's they refer to it a lot. It's one of their classic titles, like Excite Bike. But when's the last time we got an Excite something?
Well, you're kind of getting one with Labo.
Yeah, true.
They remember. Yeah, there's also been a ton of Excite Bike type kind of clones. Like the 3DS, I think are really awful dirt bike games.
Yeah.
They're out there. Or some that aren't bad. Like there's that, I remember that little stunt driver, whatever it was called, toy bike, whatever. For 3DS that has a demo.
I don't remember that one.
I missed that one.
There's a demo. It's like a you play as a toy motorcycle, and it just goes over like books, and like you're a tiny toy, so you're jumping over like pencils and books and stuff. I think it's called Stunt Driver. I'll figure it out. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Who's listening? Gary. Look for demos in the 3DS. But it was like kind of like an Excite Bike-ish clone, and then obviously the Fast Neo Racing is very much a F-Zero-ish kind of clone. But yeah, Nintendo's only got like a handful of properties, so if they're not going to keep making new IP, they got to kind of piecemeal out what they do have.
That's a really good point.
They can't put everything else out, because otherwise we're going to have like a great first 2 years, and then everything's going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Well, since we're talking about this, let me ask this question then. How many major titles do you think they need to have? Apparently for the rest of... I don't think we're going to get anything too major for the rest of the first half of the year.
No.
How many do we need for the rest of the year to be a success? Is one enough?
I think one is.
What qualifies as major? Something as big as Mario or Zelda, maybe one, but I would say two really would be better.
Could anything be that big though?
Yeah. Smash.
Animal Crossing.
Pokemon.
Smash.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Maybe Animal Crossing, yeah. Those three.
I don't think they can do 2 a year anymore. I really don't.
Probably not. But if they have one other, well, more than they need to have a few other big AAA titles to keep us interested as well.
Yeah, like a Yoshi and a Kirby.
No, like a Dark Souls and what the hell else?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm.
The world ends with you.
That's true.
I don't know if that's a big third-party title there, but it is to me.
It's niche, but yeah, it's something to look forward to. I mean, as long as there's something for people to look forward to, they've done a really good job at having a really diverse amount of software that there's something for everybody that kind of appeals. So I think they've done a good job there representing every kind of gamer.
Yep.
As long as they don't focus too much on the casuals.
I think the major thing for me is they need to get away from Wii U support, basically copying over, Wii U titles. We need something more than that, because I feel like that's what the first half of the year is.
Well, but as Mo's fond of pointing out, we're not their target audience. It's not for us necessarily. Yeah. So 3D World and Tropical Freeze and the Pikmin and what else do we have on here that they can still bring over?
There's not a ton.
Not
Wonderful
a ton.
101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever, like Jason was saying, whenever they mentioned that at this time, the Switch has whatever it was, 3 times the amount of software. It's like, I always roll my eyes. I'm like, well, a third of that or half of that is software that was on the Wii U already.
True.
Even of the little, mini game stuff.
And a substantial portion of those are mobile phone ports and whatever.
That's the new kind of content that we've been getting on Switches.
Yeah.
A lot of mobile, like I can't remember the name of the game. There's something on the Switch that even is I almost want to say letterboxed, but it's just a tiny phone screen, and then they've added like a background to it. But the way that it's displayed, it's like they didn't even change the aspect ratio on it.
Going through my Wii U book real quick of stuff that they haven't ported yet. There's the Bayos, Pokken Tournament.
But the Bayos are confirmed.
Yeah.
You're talking about the ones that. Are you talking about the ones they have ported? Because Pokken Tournament's there too.
Yeah, Pokken Tournament's already there. We don't have a Pikmin 3 yet. We got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. We don't have StarFox Zero. We don't have Yoshi's World, Mario Party 10, Super Mario Maker, and 3D World and Captain Toad. Captain Toad does make an appearance in Odyssey, which means they could theoretically bring out Captain Toad without bringing out 3D World.
Oh, yeah.
I think
or something, yeah.
Captain Toad 2 with a downloadable Captain Toad 1.
Yeah. I think as simple as Captain Toad was, I think we're looking at a sequel there. But maybe like most is with a downloadable original.
But didn't that have a lot of gamepad stuff too?
Yeah, motion control stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't so much screen on the gamepad. It was a lot of it was rotating the you could like rotate the level around with the gamepad and move stuff around and whatever.
I played it in handheld mode from what I remember. On the Wii U, playing it just on the gamepad. So.
Yeah. So you could do it. Yeah, exactly. I think it would make an easy Switch port.
Easy enough. Yeah. I don't know what else they need to do. I mean, obviously, Virtual Console will help a lot.
They could port Zombie U. I like that game.
It's been ported to PlayStation.
They had a lot of games
and PC and everything. Yeah, it's been ported to everything else. So it's kind of bringing it back to Switch would be weird at this point. I don't think they'll bother, and I think it's kind of played out anyway. But I like so we got Metroid Prime. That's big. And then we got the three we mentioned: Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Smash. Like that's if they were to do two of those, that covers 2 of those a year. That covers 2018 and 2019, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget Labo.
Well, yeah, and then there's stuff like Labo and whatever. But for AAA Nintendo, published titles.
Yeah,
we'll all be so busy playing Mario Kart Mobile, we won't have time to touch our Switch.
No hopes for that.
We'll download it.
Yeah.
We'll play it like mad for 2 days, and then we'll say, "Man, this game stinks. We're deleting it."
Yeah.
Or Jason will continue to log into it every single day to get the coins.
I do not do that for Pocket Camp. So.
That's true. Which I'm surprised. It's more surprising to me that you still do it for Mario Run and not Animal Crossing.
Mario Run takes me a couple minutes to play through. It's quick. It's done. Pocket Camp is hunting.
That's true. You gotta log in and you don't know what you're gonna have to do.
That's right. It quickly got to where it was an hour or multiple hours to get those little bonuses. It's not worth it.
They're engaging you in the IP.
I got a notification on my phone today that said I had a Valentine's Day gift.
Gift? Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, so I launched it and then it said you need to update your game before Wi-Fi? Yeah, and I was like, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi now, so I'm not going to use my mobile data to.
That's about as far as I got in it too. You guys say
have Pocket Camp.
Yeah. Well, I had to do it. I had to do an update to launch it because I haven't updated since they did whatever the last thing they did.
Since
gardening
Christmas.
or
I thought it automatically update.
Yeah, I have automatic updates.
It automatically update? Oh, I have them turned on and it still didn't do it. Oh well.
All right.
It knows.
Before we get lost in Pocket Land, let's reel it back into our topic list tonight. Of course, there's something else that we frequently go off topic on, and that is Splatoon 2. We're getting a new edition of Splatoon 2, the Starter Edition, which includes a 100-page strategy guide and stickers. We all love stickers.
Jesus, why don't they just throw a steelbook in?
Steelbook would be nice. This comes out March 16th, so just a little over a month away. Anybody double dipping for stickers?
You are. Max loves stickers.
I would buy the stickers if they were sold separately, but
yeah, they're separate.
Max is gonna. I would consider triple dipping on Bayonetta, I think, for stickers.
No.
I would.
Yeah, they should make that stuff available separately.
Yeah. And then we also are getting some new updates that were announced. And this is not really an update, but they did announce that we are getting Marina and Pearl amiibo finally. Yay, I guess.
Ooh, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Look hot.
They haven't announced that yet.
Yeah.
I'll make good use of those.
Useless
definitely.
stuff like always.
Yeah.
Family friendly use, I hope. See.
Of course not.
Of course.
They do look really nice. They're kind of a pearlescent coating on their paint, so they look pretty nice.
I'll give them a pearlescent coating on their paint. Don't worry.
Do you think that they waited? See, I was trying to figure out because the Callie and Marie, it seems like took a long time to come out. So I kind of thought about that too, but I was like, did they have to wait for the hate for these two to kind of die down before they were ready to release these amiibo? But then I was like, I guess the Squid Sister ones took a while to release too. So
my hate hasn't died down. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say, I think you get a good point there because people were so tired of them wanting to skip them for so long. I think it's kind of moved beyond that now, and people can appreciate them again. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just now forgiving Callie and Marie.
I didn't know there was a Callie and Marie amiibo. What do they do?
They give you
songs.
an outfit, maybe.
Yep, they give you songs.
It's songs like from the Splatfest.
Squid Sister songs, yeah. Yeah, they were ones that I never saw, and Jason was lucky enough to catch them on super duper sale.
Yeah, I got them for $7.50. I was pretty pumped about that.
Yeah.
I tell you though,
I never saw them less than 25. Yeah.
$7.49 at Target on clearance.
Wait, the pair?
Yeah.
Oh, you suck.
I know. Yeah.
Gotta get one of these good deals eventually, right?
Those are probably some super rare ones, as these will probably be. Hell,
yeah, I can't imagine.
2 regular ones are probably rare.
That's what I was going to say. I want to wait on these. I want to say Marina and Pearl. Let's wait, get the discount on them. But we've not seen those Splatoon 2 ones in a long time.
Remember what Lord Reggie says.
No.
You got to jump on it.
That's right.
I did just today. I received 2 new amiibo in the mail. I finally just bent over and paid extra dollars for Goomba and Koopa because I couldn't get them anywhere else. And I had seen them. In Toys R Us, but thought, no, I'm going to wait till they come back in at Best Buy so I can get the 20% off. Nope. Now they're gone everywhere. So I paid.
It is weird how they don't re-release, like they don't replenish the amiibo like they used to.
Well, because now they've decided that's part of their mystique. Like for a while, they looked at that as a problem, that people were having a fit that they couldn't get any of them. And now they're like, this is their whole mindset on everything. Is we put out just enough, and it always has been, but now even more so. That we only put out enough that we think will sell, and no more.
Yeah. I guess it sucks for us. They only put out the amount that they're going to sell for full price. Because if it's gone to clearance, it's one that nobody really cares about. Except Squid Sisters.
Yeah. They've had such an embarrassment with those Animal Crossing amiibo, and they're still lingering. If you go to, I know my local Target, there's still plenty of them.
A lot of laddies.
Yeah, no, there are. But like these, I made a promise to myself I would never pay over retail, and now I have for a handful of them, but never more than a few bucks.
I would guess my
these
Best Buy has
$1
over
too.
30 of those KK Slider 3-packs.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
like there's a
Wow.
wall of those, and every now and then they drop it to $5, and then they bring it back up to like 26. And they're not doing themselves any favors. It's like, dude, if they weren't all gone at 5, they're really going nowhere at 26.
I just wonder if the Marina and Pearl Amiibo wouldn't be a good starting point for them to say these will be first run only.
Well, yeah,
And
I'm
the
surprised
more-
they haven't said that about some Amiibo. Like, if you really want to move Amiibo and get that craze going again, that's the way you can do it. Maybe they don't want to upset anybody.
Passion.
I think they've already figured the craze is done. You know.
But if they all of a sudden said, we're only doing one run of these, the scalper passion would pick back up, and that's still
for a blip. I guess you're right. It would make some sense, but I think it's kind of like with Mii's. They're in the background. Some people, they still make the money from some people like me, and probably all of us to some degree. But right, I don't think they're going to be pushing them anymore. I think they're just kind of an ancillary kind of.
They definitely don't seem as prominent. Although I guess Mario Odyssey got some.
I wonder.
This is the first Amiibo announcement since the Odyssey one.
And Zelda.
And the Guardians. Since the Guardians and the Shovel Knight ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I guess the Shovel Knight ones came out.
Oh, that's right. New Shovel Knights.
I wonder if the shelf space is needed in the stores for Labo.
Yeah, that could be too. I also wonder how the retailers' relationship vis-a-vis Amiibo is now that they're all stuck with 30 pounds of unsellable Amiibo. Like, if maybe they're not making as many because the orders coming in from the stores aren't quite as high because they're like, sorry, we'd stock more, but we still got all these Animal Crossing ones on the shelf.
Then why? And you've made a comment about how Nintendo buys all their stuff back. Why haven't they bought these Amiibo back? And sorry, I interrupted somebody.
I was just going to say, even though there's still some on the shelf, and there's a lot of them, there's like 8 Lottie or something at my local Target.
Yeah,
they're not. The shelf space is not full. There's a lot of empty racks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what about the Goomba and Koopa Amiibo? Didn't that come out after Odyssey?
I think it came out before because that was with. Was that with the 100 Mario challenge thing?
That was with the.
Yeah, what are they for anyway? It's for I forget what they're for.
They're just basic Mario series Amiibo.
Yeah, is it Mario versus Rabbids?
No, for the crossover.
Oh, for the Superstar, or were they the Superstar Saga thing? That's what it was.
The Superstar Saga
on 3DS.
Yeah.
But remember, it had the Bowser's Minions add-on game, so that's what they were for.
Bowser's.
Yeah.
There was a lot of forgettable 3DS stuff last year. That kind of passed quietly. Like I almost forget that 100 Mario Party game even is a thing. As well as that Superstar Saga. But yeah, the Amiibo that are out there are all the same Amiibo everywhere, I feel.
And I just come to this a realization. Amiibo has me in the name, MII. And if they're moving away from these, they're moving away from Amiibo, and that's why they're going with this Labo thing.
This is some heavy stuff, man. You took the red pill. This is like Illuminati. But yeah, it could be. They're keeping the O.
Well, if you take the me out of Amiibo and add an L. Add an L for lame.
I mean, seriously, I wonder if this conversation happened. What happens if we take the me out of Amiibo and they're like, Abo? Labo? Labo, okay.
All right. Brilliant.
Like
Print.
a lab. Let's make something to do in the lab.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Well,
There
that was our
was a couple-
unscheduled amiibo stop for the night.
That's right. You never know where we'll end up when we start this journey. so-
Pre-order your Pearl and Marina amiibo.
That's right.
Yeah, you might want to.
Might be day one purchase
they
if
are.
you want them.
They
It
are
would be
up.
nice
Yeah,
if
at
we
least
got
they didn't
the
do them
other
store
Splatoon.
exclusive.
That's
Yeah.
thankful for that.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get them?
If I can
Not
find
me.
them, I'll get them.
You'll
I'll
get
be
them,
getting
Max.
So that's a
Yep.
no.
Yeah.
$25. Oh man, I want them.
Yeah.
It'll depend on if there's anything else around that
How
time.
much do you think Kelly and Marie go for on eBay right now? Sealed.
I wouldn't imagine it to
40?
be much more than retail.
Yeah. So these will definitely be rare. But anyway.
We say that nearly everywhere, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of other Splatoon 2 updates, more update type things. We're getting a new map, Gobi Arena, which it brings back that famous basketball hoop from the test area of Splatoon 1, or reminiscent of it. And we're also getting a new pair of dualies, the Dark Tetra dualies. I love that name, Dark Tetra.
What is this? 4X dodge rolls?
Yeah, you can do 4 dodge rolls instead of 2.
Oh man, that's gonna be
Because dodge rolls
gonna be a
weren't annoying
nightmare.
enough.
Yeah. It's going to be irritating to be around, but yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be fun to splat.
When you finally catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
Or watch
do a
them roll
dodge
off.
roll?
Yeah. See, I jump and shoot too much, so I can't do dualies.
Exactly. Yes, I know. That's the problem I have with dualies too. Is you don't the jumping, it screws with your jumping if you're a jumper. I'm not even that much of a jumper, but
you press the B button in a direction and you roll in that direction, and after you complete the roll, then you get like a concentrated fire.
Yeah, like your
I've seen
dualies
some
are separate,
people-
and then they concentrate for a few seconds after you do the roll.
I've seen some people that are
You've
really
seen
good
some
with it
people
and
what?
can evade you, and that are really good with it and can evade you and use it. But I've seen that's a very slim number. I've seen many more who try to use it and you watch them roll off the map, and or you just let them do their little dodge roll and then you shoot them
and then
move
shoot
on.
the crap out of them.
yeah, they get lucky and get away sometimes, but just by luck because they are.
But the people who
they
are
don't know
really
where they're
good.
going.
I mean, every weapon has somebody who's really, really good. We've all come across a great brush, a great sniper. So the people who are good with the dualies, this is going to make them twice as annoying.
Yeah, they're hard as hell to chase down.
Yeah.
But there's going to be plenty of people in it. I hope this comes out right before the North American Splatfest. And
so that everybody at Splatfest is using it?
Yeah, so we can just watch people roll across the map.
Which, did we mention that there's a Splatfest this
right.
weekend?
This weekend.
No.
Money versus love.
New Splatfest. Money versus love. So just in time for Valentine's week. People spending a lot of both.
That's right. I won't make any further comment there, but
See, I think Z already did.
I decided I was already at my limit for the night.
With your pearlescent. I think we are I think we're going for big love. I think.
That's right.
All right.
So if you guys out there want to join us, you can. We're gonna be playing on a team. It's closed, members only.
I never used to play with you guys.
Unless we need a fourth, then hit us up.
Yeah. We'll put out an open call on the Nintendo Open Air podcast for a chance to play with the legends.
That's right.
It
went really well for us last podcast. We need a fourth. The chance to play with the legends.
You'll probably rage quit.
Legendary suckage.
Yeah, but we try.
We do all right.
We have fun.
You guys have put way more time into 2 because baby. But So I
literally play
lost
together
skills.
every single Splatfest, and that's about it. So we're not quite as well drilled as some of those other teams out there.
You're just laying them out tonight, aren't you?
I haven't even been into Splat. I haven't even been into Splatoon since they announced this. Are we getting pink paint? Like pink and yellow or what?
Oh,
I thought it'd be pink and green.
Yeah.
Or pink and green. Yeah, I guess they could do that.
Yeah.
Pink and yellow for gold.
The default. I was thinking yellow, but yeah, no, pink and green are the default Splatoon colors, so why not?
That's true, and they just released the new pink and green Joy-Con,
that's true. That is
which I have seen on shelves.
I have actually seen on shelves right next to the red and blues, and yeah.
Why choose between love and money when you can have both for $79.99? They should have rolled that into an ad. There has been some new ads I saw. There was a new ad on YouTube the other day for the Switch, where they feature the Clam Blitz. Well, I only know because there's a girl who goes, "Put it in the basket," because obviously when you're playing Splatoon on the bus, there's somebody super invested in Clam Blitz that they can't help cheering for you over your shoulder. Like you don't know what the hell you're doing. I'd turn around and say, "I know what I'm doing. Shut up." What do you think I'm trying to do?
I say, "Oh, is that what we're supposed to do?"
But it's a cute commercial. Yeah.
Really?
To get that off my chest.
I need to see this commercial.
I do too.
No. The poor girl. I'm ragging on her. She's fine.
Okay. So
that's the only way I knew it was. Yeah.
We'll talk about Splatoon till dawn.
Yeah.
So, by the way, the Splatfest colors are yellow and pink. I looked up the.
Okay. Yeah, when I think Nintendo money, I think gold.
Gold coins. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about money, StarFox Zero has a new low price.
That kills me.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it's at GameStop. It kills me too. I paid full price for it.
So did I.
$0?
No, it's not. It's not the perfect price.
Not quite.
$4.99 or $3.99 if you have the Power Up Rewards Elite status, which I sure hope you don't. But if you do, wow.
Yeah.
I admit that I think mine just expired, but I had it for a while because I had just finally accumulated enough points that they talked me into just converting my points into the memberships. Like, all right, fine, because I'm not going to spend them on any of the crap that you guys put up. But now they let you just get discounts, but that was back before then. This from what I've read about this is technically the used price, but there are so many unsold new copies of this game that they're selling you new one. In most cases, they're selling you a new one at the used price.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, there are some used ones out there, I'm sure. Some people bought this thing and said, "Holy crap, this is terrible, I'm returning it." But most people knew that going in and didn't buy it in the first place. Yeah. So I think
the problem is you don't get any kind of My Nintendo points out of this. So you're just biting the bullet and getting a turd.
Well, let me pose this question. How many of us have played StarFox Zero?
I have.
I played the demo only.
I played the
actual game. I wish I could bring Conquest on here to talk about. He played all the way through and loved it.
Yeah. Did you actually beat it, Jason?
He had a colostomy bag at the time. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I did not beat it. I got so far and I just had to stop.
Yeah,
that was pretty much my experience too. Yeah.
Could we recommend it for $4.99?
$5. I think everybody who has a Wii U should own it for $5. It's a piece of history.
If it's got the free copy of Project Guard, StarFox Guard, then that's worth $5 by itself, right?
But no, I think everybody needs. I think everybody with a Wii U it behooves them to own this as just like you want to see the worst game Nintendo ever released.
Oh, it can't be the worst.
Wouldn't that be StarFox 2?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe keep it
From
in
what
the
I've seen
wrapper.
of StarFox 2. Sorry, go ahead,
Keep it in the
Jason.
wrapping and sell it.
Keep it in the wrapper, and someday it'll come up and
It'll be a collector's item.
It'll be like
it'll
the
be
ET
so bad.
of the Wii U.
Yeah.
It might.
Yeah.
I think it. I genuinely think it might. It might be one
You
of
could
those.
just retell the story as this is the game that killed the Wii U. It was going great, and then they put this thing out. I still think they should try to save that game. I think they should do a new play control version for the. I don't know if it's like the name is kind of sullied, but not enough people probably even knew that it ever came out.
And they heard about it, but nobody actually played it.
Yeah.
If you want to say new play control, what you mean is normal play control.
Right. Classic control StarFox Zero.
I would
just playable StarFox Zero.
I don't know that. I almost said I would buy that, but I don't know.
Yeah, you would.
I would.
I bet the game isn't bad if it controlled okay. It's a average par for the course Star Fox, I'm sure.
It really, Would you agree to that, Jason? It was pretty and it looked, seemed well designed. The levels were neat. Yeah, but it was just like I like the levels, and it's kind of an on-rails shooter to a degree, and that's kind of a weird in this day and age. But I was okay with it. I liked it, and there's enough of the free range stuff that
But all Star Fox games are on rails, to a degrry.
What about
and that's part of the reason I never liked them. But go ahead, Jason.
What about their little remote control thing that did they call it?
They would have to do like a thing where the screen would change, where it would like pause whatever was going on in the background and do that.
I wouldn't consider that to be a great feature of the original game.
You didn't like that mechanic?
It was okay.
I thought
that's
it was
one of those clunky things. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of clunky.
If it was kind of a mini game thing that popped up here and there, it would be cool. But go ahead.
It feels like it's something that they were like, we need more crap to do on the gamepad. What else can we do with the gamepad? Yeah.
What else can we do besides flying? Because people are going to hate that.
Yeah. Let's give them a break from all this flying stuff. Yeah. I don't know. Or they can make it even worse and do it with the same controls, but do the multiplayer so that you and a friend can do it online. And you can steer while your friend shoots online.
Well, no, if it were multiplayer, if you could fly against each other, that would be interesting because
it'd be like that co-op game where you're trying to run. It'd be like the most uncoordinated, worst dogfight you've ever seen.
Never be able to hit each other.
We've been playing for 45 minutes. We haven't hit each other yet. Yeah.
We haven't even seen each other.
I won when he slammed into a tower. Yeah.
I could see them reusing. Oh, go ahead, Jason.
You'd win every match due to rage quit. You just have to be the most patient.
Yeah. It would
when
just
the time limit runs out.
It'd be like a staring contest, basically. Just try not to die, and but I don't. They could reuse the assets for a new game, but I don't, or make something that's similar, but not. I don't know if they could quite do the same game, because the RC stuff, the weird little, I don't know how all that would work.
Now it's like you understand why when they showed it at that E3, it was all blurry on the screen. Okay. They didn't want to show you. I don't know. It's for $5. It's with the second game, especially if you can get that second game in there.
If you're curious,
I say go for it.
Yeah.
If you've got a Wii U, yeah.
If you're curious about it, or you want to keep it as a collector's item, $5 isn't bad.
Yeah, it's certainly anybody who's got a Wii U and doesn't have it for $5. It's absolutely, to me, it's a must-have.
Yep.
$4 or $5.
For $5. No, yeah, for me, yeah, just as
$6.99, maybe not.
Yeah, just for the novelty of it.
Yeah. If nothing else, buy it and tell everyone you know who bought it at full price. I got this game for $4.99 and then
for $5.
Watch them wince as you say that.
Yeah, can you flip it on eBay for more than $5?
That's even worse than a Tom Nook amiibo for 50 cents or whatever it was.
Yeah.
This is a full first-party game for $4.99 that wasn't released that long ago.
And if you're willing,
we always talk about how Nintendo never drops their prices,
and it really is a quality game if you're willing to put up with the worst control scheme ever devised.
Yeah. I remember when it first came out, there was some sort of quote where, because this was Miyamoto's baby all the way, and this tarnished his legacy a little bit, but he had said something like, there was some kind of quote where they tried to pass it off like after 40 hours or so, the control scheme really clicks, and this was like Nintendo saying this. and it's a game that's supposed to take like maybe 10 hours at most to beat.
It takes long.
But after you beat it 4 times,
I think he actually said like after 2 or 3 days, it becomes second nature. And I'm like, well, see, the thing is, what we all loved about Mario Brothers on the NES was that after 2 or 3 days, we finally were comfortable with the controls, right? It's like it's like the whole thing that makes a game great is just having intuitive, great feeling controls. So that's really was the down part. Was just, I mean, that's the one thing. That's game 101, game design 101. Make the controls good. And they had to know this whole time. Anytime they showed it to anybody, do you imagine being a tester for that game?
Wow.
Like I can't tell what's broken and what's not.
Well, here was the other thing. There was no option to turn that control scheme off, really.
No.
It was like they just doubled down on that. Like they just full bore. They would not.
It's like they said with the Japanese wanting, like we've talked about with Splatoon, like with the Grisco stuff, where how it's not all the time because the Japanese ideal is they present the game to you the way they believe it should be played, not the way they think that you want to play it. So that's kind of how they said, this is the controls that we feel you should play it, and we're not giving you a choice. You take it.
Nintendo. It's always like my complaint of Android versus an iPhone, where like an Android, you pull up a menu on an Android and there's 20 different options, and on an iPhone there's like 3. And Nintendo's always been that same kind of way. Like I go in, can I change this? No, you can't. Like most Nintendo games, like there's literally no options for Mario Kart, like overall general options. There's individualized for different matches and whatever, but there's not, I mean, most games there's like a volume slider and like that's it. So Nintendo's very minimalist that way, and like you said, I guess that fits into that mindset. But just like they really they had to know what they were doing with StarFox Zero. It was just like, all right, this system's already dead. We've already dumped however much money we're going to dump in development on this. Miyamoto, you're an idiot. All right, let's put it out there. And then there's Project Giant Robot. That was also his big baby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was, so at least that's seeing the light of day, kind of.
Yeah, it sort of is the same way. StarFox Zero. It's like we gotta pack this thing with like a weird cardboard contraption to make it sellable.
But our last E3 with Iwata had to be Star Fox puppets.
Yeah, that's true.
Poor guy. Anyway, let's move on. I'm getting depressed.
Yes, let's. So our next, we have another little oddity here. As you know, we like to cover interesting accessories and game systems, and we definitely have one here. Keychain Game Boy. It's just being made available for crowdfunding. Basically, it's a handheld Game Boy, finger held, I guess would be a better word.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It has an OLED screen, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, speakers, rechargeable. It plays Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Sega Master System, Game Gear, all on ROMs, mind you, but it does play them all. And I'll have a picture here I'll pop up for you. You can also find the picture on our Twitter account. It's $45 for early bird.
Sorry.
I don't think so.
Because it looks like it's like 2 inches. You know, it looks.
I don't even think it's 2 inches, man.
I think it's tiny. Like an inch.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, aside from the novelty of it, that's cool. You can't play anything on that. I mean, we talked about this. It's just too, like, Mo, you were talking about the controls and stuff.
Yeah, like your thumbs would be touching.
But I mean, just the screen. Like, you couldn't read text. You couldn't, like, what is the resolution of that screen? Do we know? Is it a 480 screen or less? Like, I don't see that. Like, I see that as being like, look, hey, check it out. It's a tiny little Game Boy. Wow. And it actually works. Wow. That's it. There's no other use to it.
You'll get as much use as you would out of like a mini Magic 8-ball keychain or something.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, look at the screen and then look at the chick's thumbnails. It's literally about the size of your thumbnail, slightly bigger than her thumbnail. Like, it's a postage stamp. Like that's when people say, oh, it's a postage stamp size screen, that's a diminutive term, meaning it's not really that small. It just means that's stupidly small. This is literally the size of a postage stamp. You can't play anything on that.
And not the screen, the whole thing.
Well, that too, but the screen itself, like, is it's cute, neat, and they show Sonic on it. Okay, can you read Sonic? I can't read anything on that.
No, I recognize the logo though.
That is in fact probably, at least on the screen I'm looking at, that's a larger than life picture.
Yeah. Like how big is a Goomba gonna be on that?
Yeah.
That you're trying to jump on.
It's a dot. Like this again, cute, neat idea, too small. The Game Boy the Game Boy Micro was as small as you could get, and that was still too small.
Yeah. That's what I said. Like when I go from the 3DS to the Game Boy SP now, I'm always like, wow, how did I put so many hours into this system? This thing is tiny and my hands are real close together. This is worse. You almost can't. I don't even know how you hold this thing. You've got like one finger behind it, balancing the whole deal. I mean, let's just look at it.
Yeah, it is hard to believe that we
on YouTube,
accepted
there's
that
a picture right now. Yeah, but this guy's trying to hold it with 2 fingers at least on it. Nearly impossible. I bet the audio is great though.
You put it in your ear.
Man, you think they fit a headphone jack on there? Yeah, you can put the whole thing in your ear. Yeah, kids would swallow this thing. It does have a little speaker on the front. I don't know. It's
an
cool,
interesting age we live in, where all this stuff can be made, but I'm more interested in those 8-bit controllers, as you know.
And I will say, this has already raised $78,082, and their goal was $20,000. So,
and again, a lot of people, the initial reaction is like, "Wow, that's really cool," but in actual practice, when they get the thing, they're going to be like, "Hey, show it to their friends and whatever," and then what are you going to do with it?
For free.
Here's another thing I'll say: the battery, whatever kind of battery that's got in there, that's rechargeable or whatever, it's not going to last very long, just because it's a tiny battery. And even, I mean, I don't mean in terms of how long the charge lasts. I mean how long it lasts before you just can't recharge it anymore and it doesn't hold a charge.
Oh wow.
So just those tiny batteries, right? They tend to, like Bluetooth headsets and stuff like that, they just kind of tend to burn out relatively quickly. So we'll see.
I did find the dimensions. It's in millimeters. It's 55 by 32 by 14 millimeters. To give you an idea, 55 millimeters is a little over 2 inches.
Yeah.
All right. So, and for everyone else, for our Canadian listeners, you know what that means.
That's right.
Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sent Barry on to do conversions for us.
That's right. We needed you to
yeah,
do that.
it's. Yeah. I think that's everybody's feeling of like, hey, that's kind of cool. I'm not going to pay $50 for it.
Especially not $50 to hang it on your keychain.
Yeah. But it's definitely something you could carry with you. It's definitely pocket sized. It's portable. And yeah, it's something that's like cool. People be like, cool, how much is that? And you'd be like, $50. And be like, yee. All right. Put it away. Yeah.
All right. We've got 2 more topics tonight, and they are doozies. The first one is, of course, Nintendo Paid Online Service. We have some quotes from Shinya Takahashi, which is the managing executive officer. And he is saying, the next announcement will be worth the wait. It's going to be less about the mechanism and more a question of what kind of products we can offer. Worth the wait. What possibly could he be talking about?
Virtual console.
No. I don't know. They rarely. Maybe they're just getting cocky because the Switch is doing so well, but they rarely make an announcement like that. Like, hey, what we're going to tell you is going to be really good.
Yeah, so it's probably
that's the problem. Even when Nintendo's really good, it's just okay. Like, what could they say? They're like, oh my god, yes. Because they wait so long, you kind of expect
the online. Yeah, I keep just expecting the paid online service to be just as crappy as it is now, except you have to pay for it. But
I think so. Like I think that I don't expect the quality to go up at all.
We'll get stuff.
What'd you say, Z?
I think we'll get stuff. I think is the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think we will see. I think everybody kind of expects now a Netflix style virtual console type thing. Cloud saves would be worth it.
Yeah, cloud saves would be good, but I hate just only being able to access a game while you have a subscription to it and you don't own the game.
Maybe they'll give you an option to buy the games that you want.
Yeah, I dislike that as well, Eric. And at least early on, they made it sound as if that wasn't going to be the case. But but things sound like they probably have changed since then. So we don't know for sure. But
and we've also speculated that maybe the minis were the way that they were going to be doing the virtual console, and maybe they wouldn't have a virtual console at all. But we know they're doing the special online editions of some of their classic games. So
they did mention that. That's neat. That's going to be a good feature worth paying for. I'd like to see, I don't know, centralized online leaderboards and centralized, I'd like the friends list to do a lot more. Like you guys should have. I should see how many moons Mo's got in Odyssey. I should see. Right, that kind of those kind of stats and that
like that, yeah.
Or maybe have achievements like on PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, I wonder if you could trade in for my Nintendo points.
Trade in for get exclusive icons for your Switch.
Yeah, I expect do you think they'll launch backgrounds and stuff like that with the online? As something they'll do it as a whole system update and
I hope so.
And kind of pretty stuff up, folders and stuff. Like I said, it'd be really funny if they did where you had to pay the online service to get backgrounds and folders and stuff. And if you don't pay, it reverts back. I don't know that they would do something like that, but I mean, it's hard to say. When they say it'll be worth the wait, it's like it better be good because we're all kind of expecting. Yeah, I mean we're expecting a lot at this point because you've left it out there so long for us to speculate.
I think we're all expecting to get everything we've hoped for and wished for all at once.
Yeah.
Personally, myself,
I'm not confident about cloud saves. I'm confident about virtual console.
I think this well worth the wait business. I think it's going to be some kind of Nintendo quirkiness that we've never dreamed of. Something we've not thought of, but they think that we want.
It's like now you'll be able to vibrate your Joy-Con to find them from a cell phone app.
That would be
like with every paid online subscription, you get 2 legs that can walk and transport you places that you can sit on.
That'd be cool.
Just for your Switch, though.
Yeah.
Oh, just for your Switch, yeah.
I
don't know what to expect anymore. Sorry, go ahead.
I would like to see all the online options that they're going to offer. Everything you can do online. It would be nice if it was all, also, like I'm talking like friend functionality and leaderboards and things. If it was all tied into that app on your phone, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Which right now functions as strictly a Splatoon 2 app. Which I don't know what else it really could do, but
What if you could play virtual console games on your mobile phone as long as you had a subscription?
Oh, now you're thinking outside the box.
But your phone
that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
They could give you the stupid buttons, or you could Bluetooth a controller into your phone. Yeah,
you could connect your.
I couldn't see that, but that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be. Yeah.
And then what if somebody steals your phone?
With you? Yeah,
and they have access to the full virtual console, and they didn't pay.
Out of this world.
Nintendo can't let their IP get out there like that.
That's right. You gotta pay them.
I don't know, man. Also, I think Z and I probably also have the question of what's to become of the games that we've already purchased and paid for with our account that they obviously have linked now. So that'll be another thing to see how they handle or if they address it at all.
That's something they promised during the 3DS and Wii U era, that when you get this Nintendo account, everything will be centralized. And it made it seem like all your purchases will be a one-time purchase.
Yeah, Reggie's mentioned that a couple times. We hear what people are saying on the forums. We know what you're looking for.
I can't believe Reggie.
But he has nothing to announce here today.
This is what we want. It doesn't mean they'll give us what we want.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing enough that I had to buy some games twice for Wii U and 3DS. Like, that's why when the Super Nintendo games came out on 3DS, I was just like, eat it, Reggie. And then I bought Super Metroid. But not Super Mario World in your face. Yeah. It'd be nice. Hopefully, it'd also be really nice if when it did finally launch, because it's been delayed a year, if it just had everything like that. Because I kind of feel the way Nintendo rolls crap out so sloppily, it's going to be like, well, these services are launching with the online service, and then next year we're going to be adding even more great features to the online service for no extra charge. Cloud saves coming in 2019. Yeah, I don't know. Very pessimistic.
Yeah,
me too.
But it better be good, and they're running out of time. They got to tell us at some point.
You think we'll get an E3 reveal, or is this going to be closer to the September?
I was thinking about that actually earlier this week, and I almost think they won't mention it at E3, other than maybe that it's coming, just because that's not a big bombshell announcement. Like at E3, you want to have kind of like, these are amazing things, and that's something people will be like, boy, Nintendo won E3 by announcing they're finally going to actually have a subscription online service. Like, that's not something that necessarily gets people excited.
They're also going to be saying, basically, we're giving you something for free, but now we're going to start charging you for it. You don't want that necessarily to be your headline. I think
I kind of think it'll be later in the year.
I think we'll get a like August or early September direct.
When it launches in September.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty close to it before we get any.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope we're wrong. Hopefully they give us something to look forward to and give people time to scrimp and save that $20.
Or load the $20 onto your account.
Yeah. They'll give us a 1 month heads up, but I kind of don't think they'll do it at E3. But I'd be happy if they did. I feel like I've waited long enough. We were all kind of had January in our minds, for a long time. Like, this January, there's going to be this big thing where they're going to lay out the whole year like they did last year, and it just didn't happen. So,
no, I think they'll do it on their own timetable. I think they'll do an announcement before E3, maybe.
But I figure we've got at least one crappy direct coming, because they always do that pre-E3 direct to kind of get the mundane stuff out of the way.
Indie sizzle reel.
Here's all the stuff that wasn't good enough to be in our E3 presentation. So who knows?
By the way,
maybe I'll throw it in there.
Since we have mentioned E3 several times, this week it was leaked the layout for Nintendo's booth at E3. And it is quite sizable this year, close to on par with Sony. So
not quite as big as Sony's, but it's close.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of cardboard.
I have a feeling the whole booth will be cardboard.
I think a substantial portion. Yeah, that would be a good cardboard.
I think we'll get at least 1 day of Treehouse with Labo.
I think we'll get 3 days of Treehouse with Labo.
Me too.
There's just so much you can do. Maybe they'll get like the get some celebrities on board to come show you how much they love it. Some Nickelodeon, or maybe get the Mythbusters guys out there, or Bill Nye.
I think it will strictly be the Nintendo Treehouse people, and they will be dumped upon their laps, and they will do an excellent job, as they always do, of making a whole lot of something out of nothing.
What about Neil deGrasse Tyson building a Labo telescope? Yeah. I look forward to not watching it this year.
I look forward to turning it on, getting bored, and turning it off.
Yeah.
You only really need to watch it directly after the direct, so you can see what Reggie's going to say.
And so you can watch it on double speed.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
We'll see, Nintendo. We'll see.
So our final topic of the night is obviously the biggest information to come out of Nintendo this week, and that is the update coming to starting in March, so pretty soon, coming to my Nintendo. You'll basically be able to use gold points that you've accumulated to buy Switch games in the East.
Oh my
Just
God.
try to break down.
In the shop. Yeah.
Rather than trying to break this down, I want to put up the actual blurb from mynintendo.com. So
I'm just glad they're doing it, in time for all the people who got coins, when the Switch came out. Yeah.
Well, we finally now know the Nintendo definition of soon is 1 year.
A year.
Yeah, so basically your gold coins will be able to be used toward. See, the language they use though is select or eligible digital games and content. So I'm I kind of am a little scared that they might just have like a list of games, like these are the games you can use these coins on,
as opposed to just being credit. Yeah, which it should be.
Yeah, but it's very reminiscent of the Digital Deluxe program that they had. Kind of, you get 5% of the purchase price of digital. Earn gold points worth 5% of the amount you pay, and then in the very, very tiny bottom of the screen for physical games, you get 1%, which is worse than what it is now, I think. Because it's like if you buy Zelda for $60, it's I think you get like 12 points or 16 points. So with this, it would be 6 points.
6.
Yeah. So, but we don't, as Z has said, I think we don't really know, how points convert.
Yeah, the actual monetary value of points.
Yeah.
If I think we were looking at it, and it's like one coin would be worth like 20 cents or something like that, or.
Well, we actually have the numbers from Japan.
Or no, one coin would be 5. Oh yeah, they one coin is 1 yen in Japan, but based on what they're saying, it doesn't sound like it'll work out the same way over here. It sounds like one coin is going to be worth about 5 cents over here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 1 yen is 0.0092 US dollars. So yeah.
So that's probably right. One coin is a penny.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Well, but he's saying, Z is saying that 1 point is like 5 cents here.
I think it's like 5 cents over here. Yeah.
So we're getting a better deal than they are.
But they might get more coins to begin with. I don't know, right? Do they get? Does it work out the same way for them? Do they get 60 coins per?
It looked like it was the same.
Game?
It looked like it was the same 5%, 1%. Because I've got a Japanese account on my Switch, and they did a news thing, and it showed pretty much the same thing where you could see 5% and 1%. So, it's something. We've all been bitching for a year about Switch rewards, and it feels like this is kind of like what they came up with. Like, here you go, here's something.
Yeah, it's what you wanted.
It works out that the discounts that they offer you right now that have never been great probably are monetarily worth more. Like their Earthbound's on my Nintendo right now, and it's I think 40 points gets you 50% off. So that would be like worth $5 because it's about a $10 game. So
yeah,
that would be 40 points for $5, which is a steal
compared to
yeah. So I don't know, man.
And in my understanding, if it was just straight up points, I did some math, and my math may be incorrect because I did this late at night. But if we're getting 5% back on a digital purchase, so if you bought 20 full price games and downloaded them from the eShop, after 20 games, you would have enough coins to buy one full price game. Is my math right there? Since it's
that's correct, assuming that they let you buy new games.
Right.
If you get 5%, that's how that would work out. So buy 20, get one free.
Within a year.
That's about what the digital deluxe was, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was able to buy some more games there towards the end, and
digital deluxe was 10%, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was better.
Twice as good.
And it just gives you flat out credit. It didn't give you points.
For somebody
round
like
it down,
Z,
of course, but
who's always worried about his points expiring, this at least gives you an option other than letting them expire.
Maybe.
Yeah, but it almost certainly involves having to spend more dollars.
Yeah, that's the thing. It works out for Nintendo better than anybody else because you're going to end up buying something you didn't really want because, I guess I'll take $2 off this game I'm mildly interested in getting.
Mm-hmm.
Or I wouldn't have picked this up, but I've got a bunch of coins expiring. Yeah.
He's still just going to let his expire.
Hashtag let them expire.
So did we determine if you've got games right now that you've just bought recently, if we determined is it better to wait or go ahead and get the gold coins?
It seems like I initially had heard it would be better to wait, although with 1%, like I said, it seems like now, like I said with Zelda, right now it's worth like 12 or 16 points, and it seems like it'll only be worth 6 when this thing happens. So I guess register now.
Well,
that's what games you want to buy.
Well, that's what I mean is I'm assuming that the amount of coins that you get for a game isn't going to change. They're just that's going to be the value of them now.
Well, the blurb at the bottom says buying a physical game for Nintendo Switch will earn you 1% of the Nintendo eShop purchase price for that game.
Versus 5%, right? So which is currently what it is. A $60 physical game gets you 12 coins. That's 5% of 60.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, that's 1/5 of 60. So it works out. So you know what I mean? The value, the exchange rate between a digital download and a physical cartridge works out. So I'm assuming that it's going to be the same point total. That seems like it'd be the easiest way to do it.
But are you guys saying that, like, I already have like 400 gold points right now? You're saying that in March, I can't automatically use those to buy a new game? It's only the new ones that you earn after that?
No,
I would think you'd still be able to use what you've got built up. That's probably the whole idea.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you buy it now or next month. You can still use them.
Well,
but you're saying you might get more.
If the number of coins you got changed, then it would. But I gotta assume it doesn't.
Yeah,
that seems like that would be too complicated.
You can get 40 cents off of the fall too. Maybe if it's on their select list.
It won't be.
Not right away. Yeah, I wonder, do you think they'll do like a mini direct on this?
No, but who knows?
I don't think so.
To be like how it works.
And I genuinely believe it's going to be a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they'll have. Well, yeah, it already is.
Well, I mean, it's going to be almost as much of a disappointment as it is now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us were particularly wowed by this announcement, other than, hey, they're finally addressing this.
Yeah,
they're finally doing something. Is it something we would like them to do? Probably not.
No. But I mean, it's still something for nothing, which is what the rewards program is. It's just, I would rather have grill off with Ultra Hand.
It's something for nothing, but at the same time, it really just is marketing. It really just is, hey, we're offering you a discount to buy more of our stuff.
Okay.
Do you think we'll see grilling off with Ultra Hand on Switch?
Why would you want to? Oh, horrible thing.
Since we can't have shoelaces.
Should I pick that up before the Wii shop goes away? Oh wait,
I don't think you can.
I never did. That was right. That was my Nintendo, and that was one of those ones that I just passed on every time. It's like, nope, those 80 coins or those 80 points I can spend elsewhere.
But now, if you sell a Wii that's got grilling off with Ultra Hand on it, you can sell it for $1 billion. It's rare, out of print.
I like how you call it grilling off. It's grill off with Ultra Hand.
Well, it's because I had another idea for another game
for your Ultra Hand. Yeah.
That was gonna be my idea for the Switch game.
I am kicking myself for not getting grilling off though. I'm gonna call it that from now on.
It's the best. Anyway, I don't know. Who's pumped about this? Who can't wait to use their gold coins finally?
I can't wait to just not have to worry about my gold coins expiring. Like I got 150 gold coins, I think, expiring in March, and it's like, hey,
you're still gonna let them expire.
I might
at this point. 20 coins for a theme. Themes usually go for what, $2? So it's like that's a fantastic value.
That's a better deal. Yeah.
Which I passed on.
Let me ask
instead of 1 cent.
I want to ask this question here, since there's 5 of us here. How many of us are pretty much physical only with our game purchases? And thus we'll be earning 1%.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of a mix.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're. Well, I mean,
I prefer physical.
Max is physical only.
If physical is available, I get physical, but then there's exceptions to that, like Rocket League.
Yeah. I mean,
Although Rocket League didn't have physical at the time when it came out.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's a launch title if it's a digital launch title, that's okay.
Yeah.
If it's a game that's really supposed to be a digital game, and then they later produce a physical version, I've not ever bought one of those. But if it's
if you wanted it, you already bought it.
But if it's a like for like, I can buy it on physical or digital, but I get 20% off on physical. Unfortunately, I would rather buy digital, but taking 20% off.
Yeah, right now I've been pretty much physical.
I'm pretty much physical as well. Eric,
you guys are so physical.
Eric still has not purchased a single physical game. Is that correct?
For Switch, yeah, that's correct.
So games like Odyssey, that's all digital.
Yeah, which is sad because you can make so much money when you sell them on eBay after you beat them. I mean, money back, not profit, but make up for money you spent on it.
You get a little. You get that what you'd sell them on eBay is probably equal to the My Nintendo discount.
And
no, it's way better than that.
Ever since we moved beyond actual cartridges with chips in them, there's just no point to physical. And this is an old guy who's eventually come to this realization. Now, that said, just for nostalgia purposes, I'd get the physical of Zelda and Mario and a few others. But yeah, given the choice, I would have much rather bought Splatoon, ARMS, any of the multiplayers. I would have bought digital.
Yeah. Anything that's digital or anything that's like really online multiplayer, I would much rather. I'm so glad I've got Rocket League digital and that it wasn't available physically at launch because I play that a ton, and I wish never have it out of my cart. I would never have it out of my system.
Did you get gold coins for Rocket League?
Yeah, I got whatever.
Yeah, we got our 20 gold coins.
I don't even remember. Is it $20 or $15, whatever it is?
That is $20. Yeah, so we got our 20 gold coins.
I got those. Eric's definitely got more gold coins than anyone here, though. I would imagine.
How many do you have, Eric? I challenge you.
4. I gotta look. I think it's 420.
420, dog.
Good number.
10%.
I'm a little over 4.
Wow.
I don't remember exactly what, but because I haven't, I've only spent them when they're going to expire. Otherwise, I have not spent a thing. And I've picked up a lot of random sales stuff on Wii U and 3DS over the past year, as it's come up. So it's right, and you still get the deal where if you buy something on sale for $2, but it was originally $15. So
you get the higher price.
Yeah, I've accumulated a fair amount of coins that way, just picking up some random cheapo odds and ends as they come up.
I'm somehow over 100, which I can't believe.
I have 440, but I don't really know how I got that many. Weird.
Because you bought all downloads.
Yeah. And full retail games.
Yeah.
You're getting like $60 per game, and you got Zelda, you got Odyssey, you got Sweet Uno, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about Monopoly.
Yeah, I still don't know if I bought it, would we be able to play with each other online?
I looked at it. It does look like you can actually choose from your friend list who you want to play Monopoly online with, but you cannot on Uno. But yeah, it looks like we could.
Ooh, I'm gonna get it then.
You gonna play a 3-hour-long game of Monopoly with me? Monopoly one-on-one.
And then when I'm and then when I start losing, I'm gonna rage quit, and you don't get any points.
I wonder if we could play like together, and then bring in some people from online, and then we could just voice chat and cooperate and keep making awesome trades with each other for stuff.
Yeah.
Be like, I'll give you Boardwalk for $1. Be like, that sounds like a good deal. Boardwalk for $1, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, we're gonna be the kings of Monopoly. Maybe if you're lucky, you can use your gold coins for that. We'll see. I'm interested to see the list.
Wait till March to buy it.
Yeah. Luckily, we only have we've only got like 2 weeks to go before we find out. I guess they've said they still haven't really said March 1st for this. They've just said early March, but it better be. You think they'll launch it on the 7th? That way, everyone's coins can
early March
means
the 14th.
Yeah. Well, with Nintendo, traditionally, usually if they say March, that means the 31st. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or 30th. But yeah, I don't know. It's something, I guess. Like some of the discounts they have right now aren't bad, and some of now that they're doing some games, they're decent games that they're offering for like 3DS and stuff, but it's games that you've already had 3 or 4 years to have bought.
Or you don't want to go back.
Really wanted it.
Or you don't want to go back to your 3DS to play.
That's true. Or Wii U. So hopefully they'll actually offer some Switch rewards for like, comparable stuff where you can trade 100 coins or something to get a semi decent $10 game. Yeah, Neo Geo or Mario. How about versus Mario Brothers?
Yep.
For
arcade
something
classic.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be something. We'll see. But they haven't mentioned any actual Switch rewards other than this, which these can be used on Switch. They haven't said, I guess, can these be used on 3DS? Probably not.
No, I think it's only on the Switch eShop.
Convert them. So, way to burn the new 2DS XL owners.
But you can earn earn coins from there.
You can earn coins, right? Yeah.
They're going to have to offer something besides this.
They can still get an Earthbound discount or a Toki-Tori or whatever it is.
That Earthbound discount is pretty good.
Or a sweet pastel pink Mario theme on Valentine's Day.
That's right.
It's a hot seller. Anyway.
Well, speaking of Valentine's Day, it is already Valentine's Day here, which means it is time for us to wrap up for the evening. So, I want to thank you all for joining us. And as always, glad you're tuned in to watch us. Check out new episodes every week on Thursday. You can get in touch with us through Twitter at NOA Podcast. And you can listen on Stitcher and iTunes and right here on YouTube. Of course, if you've got comments, questions, stuff you'd like us to cover, give us a shout. So, happy Valentine's Day and have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Party on.
Good night, Barry.